Well, we can go ahead. I just put us live on the stream, so like I said, I'm not going to be worried about being formal or anything. I'm just going to let it run. And
Yeah, sure.
we're just going to play, and we're going to let it run, because every time I try to put a lot of work into it, it just does not seem to work out. So I'm just going to we'll let it fly, and there it is. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
So, let me think.
Before we bring in our lovely new player, Brian.
Oh.
I left my notebook.
So
Okay, I got jam a black one.
wait, what is? Wait, hold on. Where's my notebook? Where's the name of our island?
Yeah, I did the last recap. Somebody else.
I will.
Okay.
I was trying to start, but I got fucked up.
We shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so fucked up.
Hold on. What is the name of our island?
What is the name of your island?
Yeah, the whole of our world.
Look at my papers.
I thought I had it written down, but I'm
Unum Ferrum.
what? Unum Ferrum?
Ferrum.
UNUUMFERAM. That's 2 words. Unum Ferrum. That's what the tribes call it.
Okay.
This island, in all actuality, like Josh had said earlier when we played, is actually Drell.
It becomes
Drell in the future of Kvasir, because Kvasir is the world, and in the future, it does eventually get taken over mostly by humans and things.
But this is where we are. Okay. So
like just sit this way.
I don't know.
the land of Unum Ferrum
I could have just looked for another
has
book. Yeah.
many tribal races on this island. I thought I had it all written down, but I guess I was just trying to go from memory, and I never actually got to writing it down. Unless it's in this book.
The description. Josh, you want to go on your phone and change the description of the stream because it still says it's. I guess it's basically
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess
Because it says he's streaming Divinity right now.
I'm gonna call on each of you a little bit to give your own thing. So on one part of the island we have the Tabaxi, our representative Mila. Then we have the Grong frog people of the swamplands, and Grenin, the monk, representing them. My tribe cults, the Yuan-ti, have called together, sent out emissaries to gather emissaries from these other tribes, because being on the forefront of the island where there was a small human settlement, but they are quickly advancing, and more of them are encroaching into the tribal lands. And we were all cool with that because we like to sacrifice and convert people. That is what we do. Preferred types are humans. They make the best slaves.
Slaverific.
Yeah, no, the tribes people tend to be a little too willful. So we prefer humans because they're a little more malleable. But we've realized that we can't keep control of these. The humans are coming into our territory and setting up like fortresses, and they're killing us, and we're trying to, we're reclusive. We don't want them to know where we are, and before they, invade us, we're trying to gather help, because as much as we want world domination, we're not army building types. We're more about the priesthood. Religion
All
is
hail
more
giant snake.
than power. Yes, all hail Mershak, the giant snake. And then we have the Tortle people. They have pretty much. I imagine that the Tortles would be the only tribes people that would be, friendly with all of us. But being non-confrontational, they probably wouldn't have called this gathering if we hadn't.
Yeah.
So we had all gathered, and the Oroka had bird people.
Arakakra. I know. I always say it wrong too, man. It's just
Arakakra. Sorry.
I do the same.
So the
thing.
Arakakra had sent an emissary as well, but through damn it, I just dumped my dice all over the floor.
You have a habit of dropping things.
I know. I got it. So in the meantime of our gathering to have this what is the word I'm looking for when groups of powers all meet? A summit.
Yeah.
So while we were having this summit to discuss the human scourge, the Aarakocra, we all decide that we're going to go and send out a scouting party, and it's us, the second in command or top, ambassadors of our people.
Wanderlust-filled arcanic advisors.
Yes. I think I got most of them. Right? 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm missing a 12 again.
Why are you always missing your 12?
I don't know. I lose that 12 all the time.
I would reach, but I don't really reach.
I don't know. And I have I have last time they were here visiting, they left their they left the foresight, and my foresight's been missing forever. So I use theirs. Alright, so we gathered this thing, and we all decided we're gonna go scout out the humans to the northern part of the Yuan-ti territory, near the Aarakocras. Said it right that time.
It's not near there.
I thought that's where
You keep thinking there's mountains there, but there's no mountains to the
And a
north.
giant bowl.
You're in your center of the island right now. To the west and to the east, along the coast of the island, is mountain ranges that begin towards the north.
west.
I don't know where you
You
keep
keep
coming
saying
up with
begins
this
towards
mountain
the north?
range in the north that's not there.
Because I'm thinking, like, with the island, if the
Think of an
north
island
side...
shaped like this,
okay, it's shaped
and
like
then the
this.
top part is where the humans are, beach and coast, and then as you go down the coast, mountain ranges get larger and larger, and you go all the way down to the base of the island. And at the southern tip of the island, it actually stays elevated, but it becomes a plateau. The two mountain ranges come together, it becomes a very raised plateau. It is cliffs on the southern coast.
Okay.
So the humans, when they originally came there, in essence, went to the beaches, easy place to settle and everything, whereas all of you been living there spread out throughout the island over time. So yeah, there's no mountains where you say.
Alright.
I know because last
So if we're from the northern part of the island, there would be mountains on either side.
yeah, west and east. Yeah.
And I thought that the Aarakocra came...
From the tribe that where they said they had came from,
Okay.
the imposters, they had said they came from western mountain ranges. So they are on the northern part of the western mountain ranges.
And that's where I
is
keep
they were
getting
from.
north, yeah.
And so
Where I keep getting the north
things
part.
are see. I keep adding north or northwest, and you keep thinking like directly it's just north. And,
Just
yeah.
north.
But I mean, we've had
Um,
I mean, that's the thing. That's what happens. You play tons of campaigns, all in the same world and in different time periods and different continents and stuff. And like, is this mountain range there? Wasn't that place? Didn't they have a building? Fucking. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Where's the tavern at?
I know we went to
so
that
I
tavern.
take a left here and I open the door to the. You open what door? There's no door there. I swear there's
There
a
was a door there.
It's better than some of our players we've had. Like we're a bit in the middle. Oh, I don't go to that meeting. I'm not. That's gonna be boring. And in the middle of the meeting, I used this spell! Dude, you're not there. What are you talking about? You said you didn't want to go.
You're like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to talk to the bar.
I used the spell in spirit.
Yeah. So, alright, where was I? Damn it. So the Aarakocra, they tell us where they had seen the humans moving some kind of weapon. We decide that that's where we're gonna go, but in the night, they turn out to be a bunch of fucking human imposters. Because, through my awesome powers of
Perception?
was it perception that I used on that? I touched him and I realized there was something odd about it.
You touched it.
I grabbed him by the wang shoulder.
The Wang shoulder.
The wang shoulder. So, shoulder wang.
Yeah, you,
Because I was trying to seduce him into telling me, because I read his tarot.
Mhm.
So, because
Yeah, you won
I
that-
do
you won
fun,
that.
entertaining things like that to lure people into me. So, I read his tarot and I realized there was something off about him. So, turns out they tried to all attack us in the night. Shy being the only one awake at that moment. I almost got stepped on because I was in tiny snack form. Chilling. Sleeping at the entrance.
Split snake.
Sleepy snack.
yeah.
So, and we defeated most of them. these humans and Eric Hopper impersonators who revealed themselves, except for one, which we caught. And
Yeah, thanks to the whole person by Mila.
yeah, Mila on it again, not losing her cool and keeping one. Then we left it alone with my leader,
Yes, Essex.
Essex, and he was gonna do really creepy snack stuff to him and make him talk.
Super
Super.
spooky.
Super creepy snack stuff.
All right.
That is where we
Sounds
left
like a
off.
pretty good-
No, actually, you were in the morning after you got the information from the snake.
Yeah.
But I can take it from this
Yeah,
point.
sure.
You guys all like. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get players'
I was
perspective
gonna
and catch
say,
up
I'm
on
like,
the
let's try
back
it.
end of it for.
Cool.
I
Real
don't
quick.
remember
Yeah.
Oh well, never mind. We'll get to that. Never mind.
All right,
Sorry.
yeah, it's all good, man. All right, so we are now coming to our players, which all now continuing to have breakfast and everything. Actually, picking their supplies out of what was brought to them by Essex and the Yuan-ti servants that had retrieved some basic items and everything to get you through your journey, as well as any kind of conflict you guys may come into with the humans in investigating this ruin that they seem to be have an expedition to and have pushing forward this operating base. Essex letting you in on that the information of the ruin. I can't remember exactly everything I got into with you guys, but essentially that it's a ruin. The information you got from the soldier was that they actually were seeking out a weapon built by the elves in order to continue their dominance over this territory and other territories. And apparently in this ruin, this is where they had hidden it. And so they are continuing to push forward in order to get into this ruin and wherever part of the island they need to gather whatever they need to make this weapon functioning or find it or etc. etc. Yeah. So as the morning went on, you guys had made to talk some more, gotten more familiar with each other and everything. Had some food, gotten some potions for your health and other things in case someone needs gotten poisoned or other conditions. Some various packs and kits and things you would use on your journey. Beginning to now talk to one another about where you will go and how you'll go about it. Some of you thinking about going around the mountain range to stay out. Others thinking perhaps a more direct route with the map that Essex had given you was perhaps the best way just to go ahead and go straight forward for it. And we will come in right now in that moment as you were all sitting around with the map open. I believe Mila had the map, was looking at it with oh my god, so Moss, right? You two were sitting examining the map. And as you two are sitting and examining the map, suddenly you come across the presence. Everybody hears footsteps outside. Not familiar to any of you, of the people that had been previously in the camp, or actually most of you being in the tent itself right now, the other various leaders on one side discussing it. And this is where you come in, Brian. And what you want to tell everybody your character's name and give a little description before you walk in the tent door or walk under the tent area?
Yeah, my character is Vanara Jimbu. He's the Vanara current army leader because it's completely disbanded. Up to this point, he's just been kind of milling about the countrysides, helping where he can to stave off the human plight, as he likes to say it, protecting those who can't protect themselves. As he enters, I guess quick question.
Yeah.
So fighters start off with chainmail. He would never wear chainmail. Plate has the same stats.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Completely cool with that, dude.
So he's got a breastplate on and actually what looks like light pants with a kind of guards over his legs. He only has a very short tail, which everybody would notice right away. Tufts of fur on his arms and legs. Big, scraggly, what appears to be a beard, but it's just his fur that's like kind of matted all over. He's got this kind of tattered cloak on from his travels, a flail hanging from one hip, and a big shield on one arm that has a huge eye in the center of it. He just kind of saunters in. Map scouring. I remember doing that.
As you say that, and you say, and you immediately enter and look and say and begin to speak. Essex, a tall Yuan-ti with the traditional cultist leader garb, dark colors and everything, comes up. He gets his attention immediately drawn from the other various races, which you, upon looking at them, and even a short examination of their garb, you would tell obviously leadership. As he says, like, "Ah, I see. We have another guest. Oh, you, sir, you have received word from us from the gathering that is to be held here. You are a bit late."
Yeah, so I got caught up. I got really tired. My knees aren't what they used to be. So I just kind of took a little break.
What did you say?
Oh, what'd you say again, Shy?
I said, look, Moss, probably so as was you.
It's not quite nice. I mean, I'm actually quite at a loss for words. I haven't seen a Vanara in God knows when.
I don't think I've ever seen a turtle standing as tall as you.
Oh, well, it's mostly tree back here on the part.
That's odd as well.
You get used to it, I have.
I like trees.
It's a monkey.
What was that?
Oh, Vanara's monkey.
Yes. This is actually from the 3.5 edition, which we were enlightened on. So he went through and went ahead and took that race. So I told him it was no problem because I'm like, hey, that's it. I'm surprised actually it hasn't come to 5e yet. Honestly,
Yeah,
they've come with so many other races.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd that they haven't with that yet. But yeah, no, that's what he is. Yeah, he is in fact a monkey man.
So, a man monkey.
Man monkey. Well, as you say that, and the conversation continues on, I said, well, where is your kin, I ask of you? We were hoping for possibly your leader or some help. Are you the current leader? You don't have an escort.
The best there is.
I see.
No,
Well,
we've just mostly kind of dispersed, so I don't know where they are currently.
well, perhaps they will gather news of what is happening, but I am very grateful that you are here as well. If you would like, an expedition has been brought together and to stop the humans' movement into our territories.
Oh yeah. I can definitely help. Who currently has the map in hand?
It's me and Mila. We're sitting there.
Okay, so he'll just kind of like walk over and kind of peek over. Let me look at that.
Yeah, sure, I guess so.
He's holding it upside down. Yeah, we gotta go here. And he just points to some random spot and shows you. The map's upside down.
Just if you wouldn't mind, let me just like that. Yes.
Oh yeah. Wait, I see it now.
It's all becoming clear.
You can see he's having trouble focusing his eyes. This isn't the right map. Here you go.
I say, I think the boy's drunk.
Moss turns
The old
over
boy's
his
drunk.
shoulder to Mila. I do believe that he may have taken part in beverage early this morning.
Well, all of you, perhaps some questioning is in order since we did have, unfortunately, some usurpers try to extinguish the lights of our gracious leaders that have been so honorable into to help us with this gathering and the protection of all tribes in the island. Would anyone like to perhaps put up some sort of area of truth that we may divulge and be sure that his intent is honorable?
Oh yeah.
I'd be quite pleased. Quite pleased indeed.
Of course, what shall I call you for short? Unfortunately, with the lisp that I have, your name may be quite troublesome.
Van's fine. Yeah. Or Jim. I prefer Van.
Van it is indeed.
Okay. Yeah.
I am Essex, leader of the Yuan-ti, the
Uh-huh.
one who has called this meeting. If you would be so kind, then caress.
Oh, yes. The zone of truth. Speak no lies, friend.
So, the one question I need to know. Your intentions of coming here are to aid us in pushing the humans back and protecting the tribes that exist on the island.
I can push. Pushing's good. See, my whole thing is, if I don't have to kill them, I won't. But protection, see, that's where this guy comes in. He taps his shield, gives a nice clang.
Finally, someone a bit more my speed.
I fear I'm a little bit quicker than you.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Well, and one other question I would have for you before the others may ask theirs. You are indeed who you say you are and claim to be.
No. And that's when the zone of truth kind of like comes into play, and you can
You're
see
trying
like
to
like
lie.
you can feel
Yeah.
there's so much force behind.
Yeah,
that.
all of a sudden everybody does feel like a pulsation come outward from him itself and almost a crushing inward feeling sensation
Right.
on you as you tell
Oh.
this lie.
Strange things
That
that I
was fun. Well, that was fun. Nope, I'm Van. No lies there.
Very well. Well, I must convene with the other leaders as you have a new member amongst you. I suggest you continue on with your planning and you are free to go
And he points over to a chest actually.
to go rummage through the supplies you may need. There are some health potions and other kits that you may use on their journey. They will fill you in on the information that you, what is to transpire, hopefully over the next day.
Oh, fantastic!
I
He walks over to the chest immediately. He opens up the chest.
You,
And
as
he
you
does-
shush, a Yuan-ti servant's over there and kind of looks at you puzzled like, we brought this for you.
He opens up the chest, and as he does, he looks in and stumbles and falls to the side. He's just out.
Cold.
Yep, just gone.
Oh my.
Just pokes at the.
Kick him. It's not time for sleeping.
I just need a nap. It's okay. And he gets up and he'll grab, so what kind of healing potions?
Okay,
My
you
grandmother
can
once
take,
said you
basically
can
everybody
sleep
divided
when
up
you're
evenly,
dead.
so you have 3
that
of just
rhymes.
regular health potions, which is, I believe, 1d4 plus 4.
Yep.
Then you have a greater healing potion, or whatever the next level is, 2d4 plus 4 healing potion. Then 1 potion of, what was it called again? Oh my god, I can't ever remember. Lesser Restoration. 1 potion to, solve any poisons or certain conditions, so you have 1 potion of that. As well as, if you would like, you may pick 1 kit of any kind, or like 1 pack, like, a Dungeoneer's or Forager's kit. You can pick
You're
one
in
of
front
those.
the camera.
Oh, sorry. You may pick one of those, and then if there's something else that is just a general supply, just ask me, and pretty much it's got like rope and other simple things in there if you want something. Like he got some caltrops, he wanted some caltrops. So it's just some general basic stuff in there too. But those would be the main things
Got
that
your
everybody's
rope
gonna
there.
get out of it.
Yeah. I'm cool with what's there in a Dungeoneer's pack.
All right, yeah, go ahead and take it. You go through it. You gather up. Josh, where's your vape juice? I want to steal some of it, dude.
Potato.
Is it in your room?
Probably. Or kitchen counter.
Okay.
Or in the potatoes.
Or in the potato.
Oh, or in the potatoes
You said- you
themselves.
said
You gotta cut the
potato.
potatoes open and carve it out of them. Yeah.
You said
Uh,
potato.
But damn, I forgot what I was saying.
I mean that it's vegetable.
But yeah, no, yeah. So those items in the Dungeoneer's pack, you got go through and you pull the potions out, pull out the pack and everything, add your inventory, and the rest of you continue to stand around looking at the map.
Are you brushing your arm hair?
With a knife, don't mind me.
Okay, I thought it was a comb, and you were like combing your arm hair. I was like,
I'm combing my arm.
look, I've seen weirder things in my life.
I was testing a sharp knife.
Okay, well, it works.
It has failed.
So,
I'm sorry.
I do have to ask, Van it was, where, the Vanara haven't been around for a long time.
A very long time.
Where and how many are your numbers these days?
And do they taste good?
Now,
That's a
Chris.
very weird question.
Is
I would assume that Vanara meat would be pretty stringy because we're very light. That you'll then come to notice more that he's like 6'5", and he's very slender, but he has muscle in all the right places. His forearms are much larger than the average forearm.
Kind of like the Monkey King.
Yeah, something like that.
sweet.
Yeah. No, so but to the actual important question. Last I saw my ilk, let's see. I think There were 5 of us.
Only 5.
5, yeah.
Not 50, not 500, just 5.
5.
God, I hope some of them are
Oh.
female.
3. 3 of them are female, yeah. They all went with our elder, and then
I don't even know what he's up to.
he's probably dead by now. It's been 25 years.
Oh my.
since
Which was but a hatchling.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it was something like that, I guess. But yeah, the lasses went with them, and they probably they as far as I know, they probably did get some breeding on because we needed to rekindle our numbers. But yeah, we don't like fire very much, and that's how we were attacked. And
It's very upsetting.
burns very easily.
I have heard in many stories about the great power of the Vanara armies, but it would
Oh,
seem
yeah.
5 is.
Yeah, no, like, cause we're just like, okay, cause we're like super agile and strong, so we're pretty awesome. Yeah, no, it's just the roots of our trees were chopped, and usually they're pretty good against getting cut, but then when they're burned, there's really not much you can do about that. But and then the ivory tops of our trees. I don't know if you heard about that, but like. If you want a little bit of a backstory,
I do enjoy these cultural diversities. He pulls his journal out and starts scribbling as he's
the
talking.
Fucking turtle.
the quick version is essentially we were actually created from magical dust that came from the Fae. The elves created us because they figured monkeys were pretty smart people, and most of us are pretty. Not me. Most of us are pretty smart. And so yeah, and then they created this whole like wilderness just for us, this huge forest where we had ivory tops where most of us lived because the ivory branches were much stronger than the base, which is probably where we screwed up. Because if the base falls, the top crumbles.
That's very true. It doesn't sound like the best engineering I've heard, but
Yeah, well, it wasn't our doing, and then when we got involved in the conflict, humans love their fire, and we hate their fire, and
If I have a snake face, can I emote with my
Yeah, you have
They're not
as like your
eyebrows, they're
portrait
ridges.
is, they're ridges. So yeah, you would have
They
some
could
kind of muscle
emote,
control.
they
Yeah,
could
you do stem from human origin of some kind. So it would make sense that you would retain some kind of muscle there that you could move them.
Because
Yeah,
I
that-
know
that
the
would be
frog
like-
boy
there's
doesn't
a
talk
lot
a
of-
lot, but I am trying to emote something with the face.
okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say if we
I'm trying
went
to
that serious, there was a lot of noises I wouldn't be able to make as a monkey. Monkeys don't have lips.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
So
Well, I was just, thinking, because I'm like, wait, well, Ridgy snack face. I'm like, well, snacks can't emote, so, like, can I emote?
Yeah. No, you
Because
can't.
there would
I'm
be
trying
way
to,
too
like...
many issues.
Yeah, that'd be
so
ridiculous.
Dragonborn,
Yeah.
all of these people, no
Yeah.
lips. They wouldn't be able to make some.
Be like,
noise.
you know, like
Exactly,
just like barking at people, basically.
It's also very hard to speak without lips.
it's
I'm
very,
just gonna have to start talking like that the whole time, because I technically don't have
very
lips
interesting.
either.
I appreciate it. We'll have to talk much more when we have the time.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's the quick version. I mean, me and my mate, we got separated when the attack happened, and then she died in the fires. I lost this portion of my arm, and he shows off. It looks like a silvery gauntlet with little gold inscriptions all along it.
Oh, okay.
That's what it appears to be. It's about the same size as his other hand. It's a little off.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, and then just kind of slapped to it instead of banded like a normal shield would be. It's like on the back. There's like a little coupling that just couples to the back of the gauntlet, and he kind of holds his shield there. He pushes it off. He goes, "Yeah, I lost this portion of my arm." And that army fucking axe wielding asshole came and fucking cut it right off, man. It just dropped to the ground. I tried to grab it and see if maybe a mender could like heal me, and then I looked up to the sky and somebody spoke to me and they gave me a hand and now I can do cool stuff with it too. And you see the gauntlet start moving and making creaking noises and stuff.
You might need to oil that.
Yeah. I try to every once in a while. In fact, and he just like reaches in a pouch and grabs a flask of oil, pops the cork. That'll do.
Now, as you are all sitting there making conversation and everything, all the leaders begin to turn that were remaining, because a couple of them have left already. Emery has left, as well as your leader, Horuk. Horuk has left too. The remaining leaders walk up with S6, S6.
Well, we ought to leave this camp and this tent here for you, but it is time for all the rest of us to make our way. We have many things and loose ends to tie up, and other allies to seek out. I wish all of you the best in your venture, and please, send us message and word when you have information and have discovered what is going on in the ruin, if you have taken over the camp, and if you have in fact gone into the ruin and begun to seize this weapon or access to this weapon that the humans are trying to hold for themselves. Well, I bid you all luck and a good day. We all want to make our way.
And as he says this, he kind of gives a gentle bow, gives you a nod, caress. The other leaders looking, doing the same, and go out with the servants escorting them, begin to walk out of the tent itself.
Well, before he leaves,
Yeah, I mean, you can say
yeah,
something.
I definitely gotta say something because it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
He has, I mean, of course,
Yeah.
we'll make great haste in this venture. Please, while I'm gone, leave offerings at the temple in my honor.
I will do so for you.
May your shock be praised.
Yes, be praised.
And he bows and he continues his way out the door with the servants and everything. You hear them open the tent door, grab a few, you hear them rustle up a couple other supplies and a few things that are left out there just for a minute or two, and then they make their way off, leaving you all in the tent with your map and your goals to set forth however you choose.
I would like to, casually glide by the frogman and suggest that he give our new friend a test of constitution.
Huh? I don't like the sounds of that.
Oh, it's quite fun, I assure you.
It's not that fun. Don't do it.
Brennan has never seen Vanara. Greetings from Grong.
Yeah, he holds out his hand to
He
holds out his hand to shake your hand. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Which hand do you stick out?
The good one.
The real one?
What is the saving throw for it?
Well,
12. What type of saving throw is it? Constitution 12.
Constitution
Yeah,
save?
'cause
Yeah,
you're poisoned.
Constitution saving.
That's why I said a test of constitution.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's done that to all of you so far. Well, he
Yeah.
caught Josh off
I did it
guard,
on
to be
purpose.
fair.
I
He caught Moss completely off
volunteered.
guard.
I volunteered because I'm poison resistant, so I thought it was
Oh,
That'll
great.
be a 23.
Nice.
Yeah. As you feel and you feel the slime kind of start to seep into your skin through your fur, but it doesn't quite make it through your fur. It's so matted and everything, but you can sense it. It'd be almost a little bit get in, and you feel like almost a slight sensation of being poisoned. But it's so minimal that your body just pushes it off. And you feel fine.
It's slimy. That's cool, man. So I can just throw you at people and they'll get poisoned.
you lose honor, yes.
Cool.
I had a similar thought, but
Well, all fun and games aside, I do believe we probably should make our way.
scurry on. Scurry on.
Okay.
Have we figured out the map yet?
You guys, how I signal with my whistle stick, because I'm going to act as mostly a scout.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. When you entered in the tent, I forgot to do this part. You actually were given a necklace of comprehend languages because all the tribes are gathering together. The Yuan-ti gave it as an offering for everybody that came so they could communicate, because his people actually mostly, they have a language that nobody knows and basically communicate by hand signals and stuff, but now with this necklace you're able to interpret it and understand, and he can understand you. But other people, maybe not so much.
Yeah, because
I almost forgot about it.
common wouldn't really be a common.
Yeah, it seemed logical that if someone's pulling a summit together like this of various tribes, they would supply something like that to be able to communicate. So,
Right.
Especially, yeah, since none of us actually speak the same language.
yeah.
It's a portable TARDIS.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm sorry, Mitchell. Continue.
Oh, but I was talking about my my reed whistle,
Okay.
which my tribe communicates over long distance.
Okay.
So my character just shows you guys the basic ones like caution, danger, hide.
Okay.
I
Now
think
he said you're sitting there teaching them how to do these,
how to hear them.
how to hear them.
Yes, as I demonstrate each signal.
Okay, so they're not learning to do it; they're learning to interpret it.
They're learning like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, that's
Right.
fine. Okay, I was gonna say if you're trying to teach them to do that, we might have to make some rolls. But yeah, you easily enough can go through them and do that.
This is fun. I can hear good stuff.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Maybe Frogman isn't so bad.
My hearing isn't the best, but we'll work on it.
well, I have a little friend whose hearing is pretty good. Hey, Fidget, and you hear a like little bird on the
Oh,
coming out of the bonsai. But he will definitely let me know what he hears.
That's cool.
Alright.
Um,
So plan of action.
Yes, Mila. You seem the planning type. I'll follow your lead. I like what we discussed before.
Well,
Going straight there.
the humans were last seen on our northwestern borders, right?
They were last seen on your
That's where
just northern borders,
Okay.
middle of the island, northern. And this is actually, in fact, where the ruin is,
Yeah.
and the new information we found out.
So we can cross through the Yuan-ti territory quite safely to our northern borders.
What were you saying, Mila?
Interesting. That sounds good.
All right.
How close would you say the trees are in this place, John?
To one another, it is quite heavily wooded. In the area you're in, they picked a place in their southern territory that was not really meant for anything other than just add woods. So it is quite thickly wooded.
Okay, well, as soon as we start moving, I'm going to go into the treetops and just stay like 60 feet ahead of them at most times.
Is it just down?
Yeah, just hop straight tree.
All right, cool.
Hey, Ninja.
All right. So I'm imagining now is that it's up to you guys how you continue off and how you decide to make your journey there. What you intend to do, how you intend to make your way there, whether that be just hoofing it and walking there, or whether it be silently, however you want.
Yeah, I think what we were talking about before, we were gonna pretty much go straight there, but stay off any kind of beaten path, and then Moss is gonna stay out and towards the back, and just pick up the rear.
So you guys go ahead and start making
Right.
your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. As you guys you leave the campsite. The tents still remaining up. The fire now burnt out from breakfast in the morning. You'll begin to make your way directly north, going a little off to the side, off the path that is shown on the map. You guys see there is kind of a path. It's not often traveled, so it's not too beaten down. It doesn't see a lot of people. But you deciding, as you had talked about, keeping off to the side in the walking order you chose. You're Grennan keeping a scout in the front of the party, up in the trees, bouncing around. Grennan, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check? And as you guys are walking, a few miles up, this journey won't take you. It's about late morning now, around 11 as you leave the campsite, and at the end of the journey, you're probably just about dusk, where it's just starting to get dark. Go ahead and give me that perception check, buddy.
14.
14. Okay, actually, the way seems pretty clear. You see you steer the party around some bear, you see a bear with their cubs, and you kind of steer everybody direction to off to the side, avoiding conflict unnecessarily. You see some other animals and other various things. No other tribes or any other interference for the first leg of your journey. Going through the woods, just listening to the general sounds. As you get closer and closer to your destination, you begin to start smelling fires and even blood in the air.
As we do begin to get a little closer, Vanara do have a climb speed equal to their moving speed, so if the treetops are close enough,
Yeah.
this is right about the time Van will swing up into the trees. Just not even telling anyone, just kind of go off into the treetops.
I would say that as you, anybody that's in the walking order kind of behind him, you see him kind of quickly scoop up and just kind of disappear almost in a flash. And then you begin hearing and see a couple leaves fall here and there above you.
And away he goes.
At this point, so we were saying Gren's taking the
Yeah,
front.
Grennan is about 60 feet in the treetops ahead of everybody.
So I'm going to go ahead and actually, near the side of caution and kind of move ahead a little faster.
Mhm.
Try to catch up to near behind him, about 10 feet away,
Okay.
so that I'm closer behind. That way, if something happens, I can be close.
Okay.
Smelling the fire is kind of a trigger for Van. So
Yeah.
he rushes in to make sure he can protect anyone.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And we can all smell like the fires.
Yeah, it is in the air. You do smell a little bit of blood. It doesn't, for anybody that's experienced in combat and has seen battle, especially someone like you, it doesn't smell necessarily like a large battle or a fight. It seems more of a camp and possibly maybe some hunting or things have been done in the area as they've been there, and fresh animals being slaughtered and things like that. But you can definitely tell, like the essence in the air is there, and there's a little bit of smoke in the distance from cooking fires and things.
Can I roll to see if I smell humans?
Yeah, you certainly
Do I
can.
sense-
Yeah,
do I
snakes
smell
do have
humans?
a good sense. They smell and taste. So yeah, I can
Okay,
do that.
snack time.
Oh, it would be survival. I would say it would be survival, Jack.
Yeah, I don't. So 10.
10. You feel like you get the kind of quick little tinge of one, but you don't get a precise oh, that's human. You feel like you're maybe, but you don't get anything that could be exact.
Something is here, obviously.
Yeah, and you guys continue to make your way. Is there anything anybody else in particular is doing as you continue to move forward towards the source?
Fidget, go straight up, out the canopy. Tell me how far away that smoke is. Fidget hops from a little branch.
What is Fidget's flight speed?
50.
50? Okay. So, and what's everybody else doing now? As Fidget comes up, you've gone in the trees, you've caught up Grennan behind you. Even with your perception check, you notice someone come up behind you and realize that it's him. Then you all see suddenly Fidget. You hear a bird fucking whistling through and get it right to where you guys are about to move and continue going
He's
forward.
gonna go straight up.
Oh, over the.
Yeah, straight up from where I am, out the canopy of the trees, just to see if he can see where smoke is coming
Yeah, it's
from.
direct. He does, and he relays back to you. It's directly in front, straight ahead from where you guys. It's almost like the path was here. You were gonna go, and you guys are just off to the side. So it's.
Oh, okay. How far?
You're looking at a few hundred feet, probably around 350 feet.
Okay.
So, and you guys would probably be right around 300 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to climb in a tree and transform into a squirrel.
You do so. You kind of look around and seeing your friend Van go up the tree and everything, looking and seeing the bird go off. You in kind come up on the opposite side of the path and quickly glitching your paws out, climbing. And as you're climbing, you slowly begin to shift and transform and get smaller and smaller and shrink down into a little squirrel shape and get to the top of the tree.
I guess it's just me and you now.
Yes, seems that way. Someone's gonna stay and protect the turtle, right?
I beg your pardon, but I can do fairly well myself. I am well traveled.
Well, that's fine then.
So yeah, you
Snake
guys.
form, crawl into the underbrush.
You guys, I would say from your experience in combat, and
Moss
all
is
your
just
experience,
by
you get the
himself.
general idea.
Yeah,
you
you're the
get
only
the
one who
sense that
can't
there
transform
is a
really
camp about
Right.
300 feet away, and you can, from all the information you have, it'll be easy enough for you guys to divulge. So, okay, this must be it where we're going.
Yeah,
So it is. As continue on as you guys would like
Yeah,
to.
I let him
Well-
wanted to be smart ass, so I shrunk down into snake form and slithered into the underbrush.
What's your snake's speed? Is it less than your regular?
It would definitely probably be less than my regular.
So you're going to be moving. Okay, yeah, you do that, and and then the moss begins to walk past you.
Because I'm like a regular sized snack.
I feel like they actually have average.
I thought they had like 30.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like,
Snakes are pretty quick.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah, that's
crawling
why I
through
thought they had
the
30.
underbrush. It'd be
Yeah,
something I'd
but
be
hers-
used to.
It says 40 here, so
40 is my
Well, so it'll be a
movement.
little bit slower than you.
a
as
little
a
bit
snake.
slower than you. Yeah,
So, like,
yeah,
maybe
but
like what,
But
20
no.
or 30?
No, 30. I think it's 30.
Probably 30. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, you know, I'm not
If
that
you try
slow.
real hard.
I'm gonna
slither
try
away.
slither into the underbrush.
Snakes hit 30 feet in 6 seconds.
Well, yeah, but basically what I'm looking for is how are you guys going to approach this area that you all see now have gotten wind of that it is.
I'm just gonna keep my pace. That's now I'm pretty much alone and just keep going
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
straight for it. See what it is.
How?
From
Yeah.
ground level.
What's up?
As the same crest transformed into a snake, I'd like to stay on the treetops next to Moss.
All right, you do that, and you and Moss continue your pace forward. All right, what are you guys? What is Grennan and Van doing there, up in the treetops, closest to the source of this?
Yeah, I mean, to make Gren as aware as possible of my intention, I'm probably gonna just kind of like, as I'm climbing along, snap a branch off
Mhm.
and kind of toss it in front of him. I'm hoping he picks up what that means, and then try to pick up my pace and speed off ahead of him.
Okay, I got you. And as you're saying it, Grennan, you see all this transpire and him begin to skip past you after snapping the branch and tossing it.
Make my whistle stick and signal caution.
Okay, right. Yeah, all of you suddenly hear the whistle in the air. I'm not very good at whistling, so I'm not going to attempt that. But yeah.
This is the first time you'll hear, as you give that signal, this is the first time you'll hear Van actually make his native noise, and you'll just kind of hear a off in the distance, and he'll just keep going along, just kind of swinging through the trees.
Okay. So all you guys continue just to approach the edges of where that camp is then?
Yep.
Okay.
Slithering right up to it. Snacky snack
Where's
stuff.
my mouse? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
Can I have those things? Yes.
And
Yes.
yes.
Those are wheat thins.
Yeah, so tomato basil wheat thins, and I made ranch sour cream dipping sauce, and they're fucking delicious.
Yeah, the tomato basil ones are good as well.
Yeah. They are.
Let's get you guys on the map here. You're just going to be kind of hanging off the edge because I unfortunately cannot only load maps of certain sizes.
Oh, that's a cool little snack for Chris.
Yeah,
Like that.
Ooh. It's like it's no.
wait, you guys.
No, there's something there. Like, oh, here.
Alright. So I would say, Van, you're probably coming up on this side, probably. And I would say you probably get right to this tree over here somewhere, and
Yeah.
to appear
I
over
would get
something.
as close as possible.
Alright, I
without
would say you
alerting.
probably could be right in the peak of the tree sitting in there.
Cool.
And we'll get everybody else. I would say Grennan. Grennan, do you decide to keep pace with him?
I'm gonna split a little off towards his flank and then try to stealth up.
Alright, hold on. Let me move this over here, and I'll give you guys control so you can kind of position yourself. Now remember, you guys would just be reaching the edge of where you are. So the very bottom you'd be reaching. So let me give you control, Mitch, of your character, so you can kind of put it where he's at. Hold on.
I'm joking.
I do
You
get
ever seen those pictures of just like of Waldo alone?
Oh, it's just
You
a
know,
little.
not just like in a crowd of people, but just alone. The image of you on the screen is just kind of like Waldo. Just kind of like a skinny dude with glasses.
all by myself.
Alright, okay, Josh, you can control his
Well, I
this
mean,
guy now,
she's close.
I'm close.
or whoever out of you guys. Mitch has control of his character, and let me give you control of Mila's as well. Okay, so you can move him where you want.
So, I want to, you know,
Okay.
if I can use my snacky tongue to sense out if I know where they are, because I can't see them up in the trees. I'm a tiny snack. But I would also like to try and
put you over
flank.
back. I want to put you down back here. Mila, I'll put you down here so you're going. I already have you at the edge of the tree up here. And wait, he moved this guy already. Cool. Alright. And then let me give you control too.
Feel like we're really close to these people.
Yeah, you guys are basically on the edges of the wood. You came up right to it. If you guys are trying to do this quietly and trying to do a stealth, I'm going to have to have you make a stealth check.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely want to.
Okay, so yeah, you guys, I haven't put Mila, Caress, or you on there yet because you're farther hanging back. These two are definitely up front, and that's where they chose to be. So,
Well, that's
yeah,
what
go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Yeah, I got a nat 20, but it's going to come out to 22 for stealth.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you are very used to fighting in war. You've hidden yourself in the tree and know how to climb fast and quiet. Go ahead, Brennan. What did you get me for a stealth check, buddy?
16.
16. You as well seem to keep yourself well hidden, and a couple little rustling, but once you get close enough to where they could really notice anything, one guard looks up for a second, but then looks away, probably dismissing it as some little animal or something.
Oh.
But you both quietly seemingly unnoticed, now sitting in those treetops there.
I would like to try to slowly slither up as close as I can because I'm technically just a random snack.
You are a random snake, so move yourself pretty quick.
Advantage on stealth? Yeah.
I still don't want to make too much snacky noise in the underbrush.
I would say you'd still have to do a stealth check, but as a snake, you probably, so small, you could probably go basically where you want, as long as you have a high enough stealth check.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna try and do. I want to slither up and help flank with these guys, but so.
Let me get us a little bit more of this map here. Probably right there. And actually, what you do is just shrink it up a little bit, so it's easier.
Yeah, so I want to circle around so that I come up sort of on
smaller.
a backside.
There we go.
Where's that thing in the middle?
It
What's
is.
that?
I'll tell you is once we get I'm gonna get a perception check from anybody once everybody gets positioned where they're going to be for this moment as they approach and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and does their stealth checks. I'm gonna give you guys whoever's looking at stuff a perception check and description of what's going on.
All right.
Yeah. So you got your stealth
14.
check already for your stealth. Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to slither around the outside so that I'm on the sort of the back of where we are right now.
So wait, what? Like up here?
No, up higher.
Up higher?
Not in the tree, but where that dude is on the top right.
Yeah, you can be under it. You're not in the tree. You can be under it.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, come around the tree.
What, up here?
Yeah.
Isn't there a map like this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you are
I don't
right.
want to reach in Josh's dick.
I'm gonna
So
have
like
to-
right there.
If you are going to be broadly in front of this dude, kind of in the brush and everything, I'm going to give him his arm.
Yeah, because I'm in the ground.
Yeah.
Just,
So as you slither up, you see the guard. He's kind of walking, patrolling, looks over and sees you, directly looks at you and sees fucking bloody snake, and coming over there, kind of stomps at you a little bit, trying to shoot, get out of here, get out of here.
And I will slither up under the tree.
Yeah, now you can roll the perception.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
slither up under the tree.
As you get settled and begin looking in, you would notice probably that too.
It would be 18.
18, yeah. You look in front of you and you see large pillars of it seemed like almost a temple or a sanctuary or some kind, but collapsed over, and a lot of time passing. Various guards, human guards, all patrolled around it, making their way, looking around and everything. A little farther in the distance, you see some tents and camps. A couple more official-looking people in breastplates and more elegant armor and everything. The ruin itself, you do see a kind of cave, a hole, an opening where they do have a couple guards sitting, which actually is going to be towards the. Actually, you probably wouldn't see that from there. So you could see a couple guards closer together, and you see more of it collapse, assuming that most likely is where some kind of entranceway is.
Right. So
then-
I'm seeing these
Yep.
3 guards down at the bottom here.
Yeah, you're
But
seeing
not
those
quite
guards.
the ones up there.
Yeah, not quite, and not the one behind there. So yeah,
What
you
time
actually.
day is it?
It is actually dusk. So it's just beginning to start becoming.
So I
dark.
might see some moving shadows.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
little
like-
hints that there might be more people.
Yeah,
out there.
you would in fact
How
see
far
some
off
shadows.
are the tents?
The tents are going to be. Let me think. I think they're not too much farther. They're
Like
about
60?
they're about 100. They're about 100 feet from it. Probably right around. See if you can see right there. I can shrink this up a little bit more so you can get a better idea of where it's at.
There, okay, yeah, okay.
So you see about. Actually, that's probably
So
what
I'll
about
see
you see.
basically this entire left side
Yeah, so
here.
you're basically seeing like this, and this is all
Okay.
kind of just hazy in the distance a little bit.
Right. Okay, so immediately seeing him trying to stomp at it, or I would
Yeah.
see him stomping at a snake actually with
Mhm.
my sight. I would
Yeah,
actually
you
see
would
that.
be able to see you as you begin
You
to
see
slowly
him
do
do
look.
something weird.
Then suddenly
okay.
you see a guard like a bloody snake like stomping at the ground a little bit, trying to scare it off, scare it away.
And it does. I will
I'm
shimmy
gonna-
into the underbrush.
Yeah, I'm
Under
gonna,
the tree.
Van will kind of trust that Caress will take care of herself,
Yeah, and what you back up
and
to like
so
here?
he's gonna.
Right in the tree. So like,
Yeah, he's like under the brush. Okay.
yeah.
So then Van's gonna pull out his gem of seeing, and he's gonna put it up to his eye, and he's gonna say "Te soik," and very quietly, that's the command word for it.
Mhm.
And he kind of peers through it. It gives him true sight up to 120 feet.
Okay. Remind me again all the things I know you can see. You basically see everybody, and I know
For what
you'll be
they
able to
really
see
are.
through, like for what they really
if there's
are.
any illusions or anything
Yeah,
like
okay,
that.
yeah. As you look, you now see very clearly what seems to be a very prominent guard farther up. Actually, you would be able to see all these tents and stuff. So you see a very prominent figure here. Actually, one of these guards would be talking to him. Talking to another guard up there. Doesn't seem to be any illusions or any kind of magic trying to alter your sight or perception of the environment around you. It seems to generally be people guarding an area and
I can't keep eating.
people just guarding it, and then some larger officials talking about things in business. You can't quite, you can't hear what they're saying. But,
Right.
But yeah, everything seems to be genuine, though. There is no magic here. Everybody is who they are. They all are
including
humans.
the ruins.
Yeah, including the ruins themselves.
It just kind of looks like it's a collapsed entrance.
Yeah, the entrance to like what you assumed is a temple or some kind of thing built to as tribute to either a cult, a god, or something to that effect. That's what it seems to be, or not necessarily like a burial tomb, but more of a place where you would honor and hold objects to honor the objects themselves, or the magics they came from, or the gods they came from.
Okay, so two things I forgot about True Sight was
You can see me.
anything invisible.
Yeah, no, you do
Including
not see
objects.
anything yet.
Okay, and then also can see into the ethereal plane. So any ghosts or aberrations, anything like that.
Nope.
Nope.
Nothing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just check, because
I
when it
forgot
comes to the
about that,
ethereal
yeah.
plane, there are stuff wandering around
Yeah,
everywhere, so you gotta kind of throw it and see, is there something?
Yeah, okay.
Because
So
there could be
So
a
what,
random
I would
thing,
look
you
like
know?
my normal self instead of a regular snack. I would appear to him as
to me, yeah,
Caress
you would
and not
appear
as a snack.
exactly, and the same goes for Mila. Mila would appear to me as
Tabaxi, not a squirrel.
as Mila, not a squirrel.
Oddly enough, crawling around like a squirrel and stuff.
This is the weird moment where I see that Moss is actually an elf.
Yeah, oh god!
In another life.
God damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, you do see clearly the entire camp now. Yes, Grennan, are you peering out as well and trying to see where you are in your position too?
Yes. I'm just trying to count how many enemies there are.
I would say, even without I would say, yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check, just because it is starting to be. Who has night vision? I mean, dark vision. Sorry.
Pretty sure all of us. Oh wait, no, Tortle's done.
No, I have
That's
double sight to
I don't think I
120
do.
feet.
Okay, yeah. So you
You're
easily enough see the guards that are on the map, though. Like I was saying with him, over the tents and everything's a little harder to make out, with the exception of you do see one prominent figure there that's wearing much better armor than everybody else.
Yes, I'm gonna take the time to poison my throwing darts on my skin.
Okay, you do so.
Can I make that perception check?
If you are getting, you may move your figure to where you're trying to go. We have Caress, and Moss is hanging back right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Moss is continuing to hang back.
Someone tried to step on me.
Yeah, I just moved my character close to the sanctuary.
Okay,
because
you're
there's
gonna
no
move the map up a little bit so I can see.
on my stuff on my
Alright, there we
No,
go.
I only have
We'll
flour.
put Moss over here, kind of back in the corner from where you guys are. We'll bring him into play since he's holding back when he decides to. Okay, yeah. As you guys are sitting there, you all of you now, I would say easily enough, can see the guards in front of you. You see the ruin and the collapse and everything. It is becoming darker and darker by the second. You begin to hear some of the creatures, nocturnal creatures, waking up and stirring in the woods behind you and everything. You do see a fire is up ahead. That now light begin to emanate from the fire itself, and not just the smoke and the smell.
How close am I to that guard that tried to step on me?
How close are you now? Probably about 30 feet. if I can see from here, somewhere around there.
Okay. All right, that's within hearing distance.
Josh, if you want to move me back to you.
Yep.
Dissonant whispers. I'm
Just
sorry.
Whispers.
I like that.
I'm I'm punny like that. I thoroughly enjoyed the holiday one shot because of that. I was just punny. I was ice jokes all night long.
Yeah, she's telling me that. I mean,
Can
I've
we see
never
that
said miss
entrance
it,
to the
man.
sanctuary?
Huh?
Can we see if there's like an entrance to the sanctuary?
From where you are, it's a little. You can't really. Oh, you moved that close up?
Yeah.
Did you give me? Did you try to
She's a
stealth?
squirrel.
Are you a
Yes, I
squirrel?
got-
I'm gonna need a stealth check from you still.
I
On
got
that.
a 20.
Huh? You what?
20.
I got a 20.
Okay, yeah, you're fine then. You're okay. They, one of the guards does look over and sees like, squirrel, and just kind of hangs out like that. It's like you don't think anything of it. So they barely notice you at all. The other one saw a snake and was like, oh shit! You know,
So
they,
I had Josh move me down to Moss.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Van's gonna kind of just like swing out of the tree as deftly as he possibly can and
Yeah, we'll
kind
keep
of
that
land
stealthy.
next to him. And this is where things get a little weird for you
Oh.
because you can tell
Can I have
that
the book with the
the
spells
booze
listed
has
in it?
worn off at this point.
Oh.
All right, lad. So the way I figure it, we've got I say at worst 8 here, at best 5 or 6. Yeah, but there's a camp off the distance there. And me little tinkering toy here, he flips the gem and catches it, says, there's a lot more up off in the distance camping out.
Interesting.
See, here's the thing I love about humans. They love their fire because they can't see in the dark. Most of us can, you can't. But how about this? And he tosses you the gem. So as long as you peer through that, it should be fine seeing through there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give it a look.
Let me see. Wait.
You'll
how
see
does it work?
everything.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
you
well,
as you bring
well,
it
I've
up,
already
work.
activated it, so
Oh,
it
it
stays
okay.
active for 10 minutes.
Oh.
as you bring it up to your eye, suddenly it almost is light and bright to your eye, and then it comes into focus, and everything around you, even things that you wouldn't normally be able to see, seem to be there. Mists of almost vaporous spirits kind of just in between planes passing through, and then all the way through up to where the camp is. The gentleman in fancy breastplate armor talking to one of his other soldiers, lessers, all the other lower soldiers patrolling around the ruin itself, the ruin entranceway.
So, my plan here is, so we got our little, so we got over there, I want to say. He kind of points off to the distance. He's not sure exactly where, so he kind of points off where he thinks Brennan is. He says, so we got our little froggy friend over there. I assume the snaky snake's over there, too. And those two are going to do their mishapperies.
Mm-hmm.
The way I'm figuring it, can you put out the fires?
And he starts to rifle through his. I think I may have something. I'm not quite sure.
So in this time, I'm totally gonna dissonant whispers the hell out of this dude.
No, I will. What
I
we'll
have-
say is we'll
there's
go ahead and do
rolls
the rolls
involved.
and figure that out, and then as he's having this conversation, and once they've come up with what they're doing, will be when that acts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he has to run away, he's just gonna start freaking
So
out.
go ahead and give me the rolls for it and everything, and we'll put that on hold
Um,
until that moment when
It's a wisdom save for the
it is a wisdom save.
Uh-huh.
Let me get into my book and see where he's
I can,
at.
I can make light.
Can I borrow some one more d6?
No strong winds or anything?
No. Earth tremors?
Okay,
could
that's
be-
what's your spell save DC? He rolled a 13 with no modifiers.
15.
It doesn't go very
15, so yeah, it will take effect on him.
Okay,
He
I
has
need one
not.
more d6 if someone will toss.
Yeah, I got you.
Got it.
There you go. Probably should put the big box of
Yeah,
dice
I'll
down
take
here.
that.
so everybody
Oh,
can
yeah!
Nice.
13.
That's gonna hurt a little bit.
13 psychic damage, and they must immediately use a reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me. All it hears is hissing in its brain, and it racks it full of
We
pain.
will hold that for that we know it's effective in the damage, and we'll hold that for the moment once everything.
All right. So if you can't put out the fires,
Forgot to hit the cool.
I can levitate. I can do a nice major mirage image of something. I can do a lot of distractions. Enlarge, reduce.
that could be interesting.
Yeah, I could, make you double your size.
Alright. Since I don't know what everyone else is doing,
Hmm.
that there sounds like the best plan. I think.
Um,
So I will cause the biggest distraction I possibly can,
and then,
and hopefully we can take them out one by one.
alright. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Oh, that's
no.
funny. As
bad
soon as
plan.
they say make a distraction, all of a sudden some dude in the random camp starts running. Oh my
Bad
god!
plan, because then the ones off in the distance will know we're here.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. I like the idea of making the earth shake. So I'll cause a distraction here, try to gather them, and then you knock them off their feet.
I've got to be close.
Then be quick, little turtle.
I'll try to be as quick as I can.
Alright, so with that, I think Van's gonna start this off, and nobody else has any things they want to do.
I know, that's
before-
why I catch you. She, as you
Yeah.
go to start this off, she has something she's going to do. I was just holding it till the moment she did that. Mitch and Chai, Mila and Grennan, you see all this. You see, you do in fact catch a glimpse of Van going back over. You see him go to Moss, begin to discuss with him. And what are you guys doing in the moment that all this has happened? You see after they have this little discussion, him begin to take off, and then you see over in the distance where you know your Yuan-ti friend is begin to make some hand gestures and mute movements, so you get the sense that something's about to happen. So what would Grennan, Mila and Grennan, what are you guys doing in this moment as everything's about to spur off?
I'm gonna hold my reaction. The first person within a 60-foot range
Mhm.
goes to attack one of my teammates. I'm gonna leap out and drop kick them.
Okay, got you. All right, and then Mila, what will you be doing?
Maybe, I'm gonna come over to this tree right here
Okay,
and just for my time.
okay, and you going to hold a reaction for something as well, or?
Cool. I start the fire. Figuratively.
Yeah, you're just gonna hold there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So-
Now we come to the moment as you jump into the tree. Go
As
down.
this is just about to start. Real quick question for Shy: how open are you to getting thrown into things?
Down.
Yeah. She has totally chucked me a few places before.
Just
All right, so-
squirrel. Ah!
Exactly. No, actually, that's exactly what Van's gonna do. So to start this off, Van is gonna look over at Moss, give him a little nod, and say, "Follow me."
And as you go to do this and make your movement over, that's when. What?
Maybe. Look, I believe I do have soy sauce.
In that moment, you grab Moss, you go to go, and this is when her spell takes effect. You begin to whisper, and then suddenly you see the guard. He begins to shake, and then blood just starts pouring out of his ears, and he just drops to the ground, dead. And then Yeah.
Van will. So I'm gonna swing up over to where Mila is, and in one deft motion, he's just gonna kind of grab one branch, swing up, grab her with the other hand, and as he jumps off of the branch, toss her at the top guard
Oh,
up
I don't
here.
have control of her.
And
No,
before,
only
before
she
I
does,
she does,
start, I'm like transform into
Cat. Mid squirrel chuck, she becomes a cat person. We did that before with me once. One time she chucked me in
Okay.
snack
And
form,
she
and I turned
transformed.
into
Can
a.
I enlarge
one.
her in midair as well?
I would. Yeah, we can work that out if that's what's going to be your reaction.
You have
Yeah,
to be
That's
close
what you wanna do.
if you got to be close enough though. So did you move up with him at the same time that he
I
moved
was.
up?
I
You
would
got
be
to be
coming
sure
up
close
because
enough.
I'm gonna need to be.
Go ahead. You go ahead. She willingly gets grabbed and everything. Go ahead and give me a strength check. Strength check to just see how hard you and much velocity you can give her or throw her.
So that's gonna be.
It probably should be a lot. 21. Yeah, she's a squirrel. You just sling her like 70-mile-an-hour baseball pitch like this. So, and as she goes flying off, you come up behind him.
And I throw out enlarge on you. You are. What's your normal size?
Medium.
Medium. You are now large, and you get a D4 to all your physical attacks.
Okay.
She's
Now,
now huge.
in the midst of this
giant.
throw, are you transforming back into a cat form to attack? Or are you staying a squirrel?
A giant squirrel.
A giant squirrel.
Oh no, I'm finishing back with my kitty kitty form. Like whenever I go to like right before I hit the bar, I'm just gonna like one freaking cat kitty donut.
Yeah, so as he grabs
You're a
and
giant
throws
cat.
you, you put your arms, squirrel arms back behind you, tail straight, and then as you are enlarging, you're transforming back into your cat form, straight cannonball, 70 miles an hour straight at, I'm assuming, which guard?
The
if you
top guard here.
That top guard right there.
So now
And you
we're gonna have
fly
two
at
guards.
him, and now you're going to get, from his huge throw, his strength throw, which was a crazy roll, a 21 on that, we're going to go ahead and give you another d4 of physical damage on top of what your attack, plus the enlargement.
D4 enlargement.
So 2d4 plus
Yeah,
melee attack.
yeah.
No, straight. Yeah, she is the unit.
You are the cannonball.
Plus whatever attack you're using, what physical attack you
There are-
decide to use on them as you're being thrown.
There are two.
Like as I switch to my cat form, my arms are like when I pull off my scimitar.
Yeah.
And that's 6 plus 76 flashing.
Okay, so yeah, if you're going to just use your scimitars, go ahead and give me a roll to hit.
Are you using both scimitars?
We only have one.
Oh, okay.
Because like you're huge. Like
Yeah.
you are bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, you're huge now. Or not huge, but you're large size.
Silly.
Oh no, the
Weapons, yeah,
the weapon's getting large with her.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go, yeah.
So each weapon does an extra D4. That's why I was asking if she.
Okay,
had
so
two.
she's just getting a D4 from her weapon, for your thing, and then a D4 from his throw. So,
Yeah.
okay, now once
She's
you
gonna
roll
go
the
right
hit,
through this dude.
you're gonna just plow right below this dude in half.
Like an arrow, a giant kitty
Yeah,
cat
so just,
squirrel arrow.
yeah, just give me your attack roll with your modifiers and proficiency, because I think you're proficient with scimitar.
So I got an 11 minute.
Is that plus your +3 and your dexterity mod?
No, it is not.
Yeah, add those. Make sure you add those in there. It makes a difference. yeah. You always remember with your with the scimitar weapon you're proficient in, add your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity modifier to your attack
Okay.
roll.
It's 16 minutes.
16? Yeah, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage for me. So it's 2d4 plus your normal that damage die for your scimitar.
Alright, so
Yes.
4, so that's 9. Okay.
Now let me delete
I
this guy.
got
11 damage. Oh, let me get rid of this guy. He's dead. I think that's it.
Yeah, I killed him. With
Alright, and on this guy, you as well. We'll get rid of him right now. As you're flying through the air, this guard looks up and he goes, "Ah!" And just like as soon as he's shocked and about to scream, you just blast straight through him with this scimitar, blowing a literal hole through his chest and splitting his upper torso in half as his bloody body just falls to the ground. And from the impact, you do a tuck and roll and stand up out of it in position, ready to attack again with your sword. And then you were holding, in case you were, none of your teammates got attacked on that, but I'll allow you, since everybody's used their reaction, to go ahead and use your reaction, Grennan, if you'd like to right now.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna drop and head kick the one at the tree closest to me.
Okay, well, I'll move you real quick right on top of this guy. Go ahead and give me an attack roll and damage roll. I mean, it was attack roll first, obviously. Let's see this one.
18 to hit.
18 definitely hits. Go ahead and give me damage.
Oh no.
10. As you come, you kick him to cut you. It's so much blunt force, you straight kick him to the ground. He bounces for a second. He quickly staggers up and gets up, looking severely injured. His armor pushed into his own chest, trying to catch his breath, but he begins to draw his sword, just looking beat to shit, but barely hanging on and in a panic to like stab it, whatever it is, just hit him so hard. And now we're going to have to jump into initiative. As the other guards look around, seeing other guards fall, screams come out. darkness setting in. Let's go ahead and get an initiative from everybody.
Yes, make a constitution savings throw.
Who? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. He may be dead.
He's poisoned.
Uh,
You got poison frog foot in the face. Or the chest, rather.
he had an 18.
Okay.
Yeah, so he made it. Okay, so yes. Let me see. I gotta count the other guys up here. Make sure I get all of them.
I never thought that hurling a cat would be better than the magic missile spell I learned last month.
You'd be surprised, my friends.
Oh, come on. Right, there we go. That's one. Alright. Okay, so
Moss scribbles in his notes. Tabaxi missile.
Tabaxi missile.
Time to pick up the catapult spell.
I was looking at that too. And I was
I
like,
love the ideas
yeah.
you can make with that spell.
You're like, oh,
Especially at higher levels because it increases the weight you can throw.
yeah, because at first it's only like 10 pounds.
It's like 10 pounds.
Yeah,
Which
and-
is okay because if you think about that, a Morning Star is only
True.
8.
True.
You could just toss it, 120 feet?
Yeah.
It has to be in a straight line, which is,
Do you still get the weapon damage plus the D4? Oh, interesting.
I mean, you're hitting with it.
I do have a mace.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you think about it, it says, I believe the catapult spell also says like in a certain area. So you could just like drop a bunch of ball bearings on the ground, and in that 5-foot area, toss all of the ball bearings. I believe every projectile does it before. So a bag of ball bearings covers a 5-foot space. That's 1,000.
Oh man.
So it's just it's like
So it's-
sleet hitting you.
It's the magical version of a shotgun.
Yeah. I mean, I would like as a DM, my ruling for that would be like that you would roll a percentile to see how many
I mean,
bullets
how
you
many
miss.
hit or miss?
Yeah, yeah.
okay, all right. Let's get some. Let's get. Everybody got initiatives rolled?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and start with anybody 20 or higher.
Yeah, me. Hold on. 22.
22 for caress. Okay, anybody 15 to 20?
I got a 19.
18.
16.
I got one.
You got one. Yay!
19, 18, and 16. So we have
Wait, you have no plus to your
Moss.
initiative?
your dexterity. You gotta add your because someone else, the other team rolled a natural 1 too. So what's your dexterity mod?
Right, so. Then I know.
And then we have Moss, then we have Van after
Yeah, me-
Moss, and then we have Brendan after Van, and we'll see where she ends up.
And they roll
What was the
one.
She
dexterity?
said 5. It
She
ends up
said
being
5,
5.
so a 6. So yeah,
no,
she's
it ends up being 5.
ends up being 5. Okay, so she's not technically the bottom. The other person, the other set of the guys rolled a natural 1 too, but they don't have as good of a dex mod. Okay. So,
4.
okay, and then we have. Okay, alrighty. Well, we will go ahead and get into this first section of combat here. At top of the list, we have Caress. How would you like to proceed?
So,
You find a little bit better combat music here. I know I got a little bit better ones. The blood cup notes.
okay, so, I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna... Is it my full action to change back into...
I believe it is. That is one of the disadvantages of transforming into things. It usually takes a full action to turn back.
That's fine. I can be a snack.
You take a slither and bite somebody. Wait, didn't you? I thought you changed back when you did Dissonant Whispers. You didn't.
No, I can't. I don't need to do anything but hiss.
Oh, okay. I thought you changed back. That's
No, Dissonant Whispers doesn't require me. All I have to do is a vocalization. It doesn't matter what it is. So hissing with my snack mouth. Parcel tongue! So then I will take all of my movements to slither as close as I can to this dude in the upper right corner here.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Because I'm in snack form, it'll be 30 feet.
Sorry, I'm clicking it. There we go. You do it.
Okay.
6 times 5 is 30.
Is he within 60 feet of me?
He looks like he's within 20.
20.
Yeah, he's definitely within 60 feet.
15, actually.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so then I'm gonna hiss insults at this motherfucker. Vicious mockery.
Alright, he has a save, correct? Or-
Yes,
yeah.
it is a wisdom savings throw.
He rolls a 12 with no modifiers. He does not make it. Go ahead and roll the damage for me.
She's just like hissing dirty oil skin.
Yeah, it's basically like, it's just, your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Stupid meats popsicle. Meat facts. Because it doesn't have to understand me, all it has to do is hear me.
Yeah.
It did not succeed. It has 4 psychic damage and has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay, 4 psychic damage.
Oh wait, never mind. So hold on.
Is it a
It's
roll?
It's 2d4.
Yeah, you
sorry.
sound like it just has just 4.
1d. No, because at level 5 it goes to 2d4. So make that 7.
7 points of damage?
7 psychic damage.
Okay.
And disadvantage on his next attack.
And as you're doing this and everything, you see him kind of like begin to almost sob and like he's like, why? As he kind of like starts to kind of fold in on himself, looking very downtrodden and hurting and emotionally damaged, taking the 7 damage.
Emotionally damaged.
Yeah. That's what Bard's all
Yeah,
about.
That's the guy you attacked right there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then anything else from you? Bonus action.
I will take my bonus action to make it very dark. Very magically dark.
Magically dark.
Around me.
Around you.
Yes, this snack is gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm a tiny snack. I don't want to get stepped on. My
Okay.
HP is like half.
So yeah, make sure you mark out that you
I have
use
marked.
that.
I have that one of the ones is cantrip. So
Okay, and
it doesn't
what's
cost me shit.
that? You have a radius. Now you have, was it 15 foot radius? Darkness?
Yeah.
Is that what you're casting?
Yep, darkness on myself.
So 15 foot radius.
Hold on. Hold on, I'm going.
That's why, I need to do like when I did my stuff in my magic, I just print out like every spell that I have in my stuff.
But like I don't,
If
I
you
don't
ever
have
have the
space
extra
roll.
cash, the spell cards are awesome.
Yeah, I know. I want to get some, dude. They're fucking amazing, dude. The spell cards and item cards and shit. Those are so great to have, dude.
15-foot sphere.
15-foot sphere.
15-foot sphere.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it is 15 foot. All
The
right.
darkness spreads around
Yeah.
corners.
So we're all gonna just remember right around here. He's not quite in it. It's like right at the edge where this man is sobbing. All of a sudden, he sees in front of him this bubble of darkness, and he's just confused. Yeah. So the
yeah,
darkness.
not maddening darkness. That's
No.
bullshit.
Yeah, no. So the darkness does form around you in a 15-foot radius, and that will be the end of your turn.
Yes.
And now, after that, we have Moss, but he also is going in kind with the general, who notices all of this stuff going on down there and begins to order his men. He doesn't really take any action this turn because he's not sure what's going on. So he's going to sit up there and begin to gather his men and bring their attention to what's going down there. Hey, all of you, what's going on down there? You know, basically yells out to them. And then, Moss, it is your turn as well. As you're going, he's yelling all this out.
With his turn coming and him yelling this, as a free action, could I kind of like whisper over him also since he's right next to me?
Yeah.
Gonna have to be especially quick now.
Yes. Really quick. Let's see. Well, we have one right in front of us.
If you've got something to here a little farther, I've got the guy right here.
Oh, I can definitely throw far. How far is this guy?
Here, I can shrink up the map a little bit more.
No, I can see on mine.
Oh, yeah, I forget, you got your screen right there. Yeah, so, yeah, if you guys want something a little bit closer.
30, I can get right by her, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, that's within 120. Well, they seem to like fire, so I'll give them some fire. I'm gonna hurl a firebolt at this guy.
Like they fire bolt or ball?
Bolt.
Bolt. Okay, you're aiming at this general.
Yeah.
The one that was shouting. That would be this gentleman right here.
Oh, was I not? Oh, you mean that's not?
Oh no, he's talking about the other with the first.
This guy,
No, this shielded one right
well,
here.
I wanted the general. Yeah, I just didn't have the map. That might not be.
That should be.
The closest one that you.
I think you're within 120.
Definitely within.
Yeah, you should be
Oh,
within
okay,
120
sweet.
feet.
Yeah. Then definitely.
I'm trying.
I'm right below.
Even if there's like a little bridge.
If there's, it's enough. I won't give you a disadvantage on it with cover or something like that. It's just enough where you can shoot it between some people.
Is
So
it firebolt to hit?
yeah, it is.
Because
it's
if we would call that cover, generally, okay, so if it's half covered, it would be +2 to his AC. If it were full cover, it would be +4 to his AC.
yeah. Okay. I don't know much. But I'm not going to give him cover on that. It's like I can see where they're moving and they're probably immediately stepping away from it anyway, so you can get a clear shot. I'll keep that in mind then. +2,
So 20 to hit,
yeah, that definitely hits this gentleman.
and then it's 2d10s.
2d10.
So that's and then 16 damage.
16 damage. Alright, so as a bolt streaks out of your hands through and whizzes around a couple other guards, the general or this higher position soldier looks over and goes, and taking a blast right to the chest of this fire blazing around him. You can see him, and he suddenly become very angry and kind of brushes it off and begins to stomp his way over himself. Now,
And just right after it connects, you just see Moss.
Huzzah! Excelsior! Okay, he has parry. I forgot, he has a reaction he's going to use, and it's going to add 3 to his AC, which is going to make it a 19, as he sees you walk up and cast this bolt. What was you do attack to hit?
Shit.
What did you?
I had 20 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, so he still does hit.
Yeah.
So you see him with his weapon out and everything, and in the midst of that, still getting hit, but try to parry it, but still gets caught with it, taking the damage and everything.
He attempts
Angrily
to parry, only to realize it's arcane fire. Fuck!
Ah!
What's this?
Yeah. Yeah, melee attack. That's right. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Well, then Moss, anything else you're doing with your turn?
Did
No,
she just barf on you?
I don't think I have any bonus things.
Babies do
No.
that.
Yeah, they upchuck on their
Alright.
parents.
Then after that, we have Van and the soldiers at the top going simultaneously. Now, let's see, these soldiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One move here. 1, 2, 3, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't quite get there yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, we have one there. So as go ahead and do what you're going to do, Van, then I'll get this guy going because you're going to simultaneously going here.
If you want to move over here, scroll down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost the guy. So we're going to go
Directly over.
Yep. So we're going to move right on over to this guy. And I'm going to pull out my flail and give him a good thwap on the head.
You're gonna move this guy thwap on the head. All right, we'll go ahead and give you a roll.
Okay, so that's 25.
That definitely hits.
And, you know, I think I'm going to see how that resolves before I use another attack.
Okay, yeah, how much? Yeah, go and give me a damage roll.
That's going to be 12 for damage.
12, yeah, that immediately takes him down. As you whack him on the head, he's like collapses straight to the ground.
So swinging out of the tree, I kind of just run right over to him, grabbing my flail from my hip, give it a good swirl before right on the head.
Nice.
And then
Hissing.
what are these stone things?
Which ones?
The
little
kind of
piles of rock. There's
little
piles of rock and rubble and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, so yeah.
It's a ruin.
No.
trouble.
Does he want to move?
So did he knock him out or is he
Oh, he's
dead?
dead.
Okay, so can we delete them or is it only John?
No, only John.
Only I have the power.
Okay. As much as I don't want to use this early, I'm gonna go ahead and action surge.
All right.
And as my second action, I'm gonna dash.
All right.
That's gonna give me 35.
Hey, Josh, you know that mouse pad? You can hand it to him.
Oh, yeah,
Easier.
if you
So
want.
yeah, I mean, that's why I have it on that little thing.
You can try to probably read the squares better than I can.
So we're gonna do.
Yeah, I can't barely see them at all. I don't see any definition like where the squares are. So like when I'm like you guys are like I'm like I don't know what to do. I can't see any definition.
6.
Well, when it's your turn, you can turn them.
But I,
over
no, I
a little
can't.
bit.
There's the
Seven.
lines are too faint. I don't see any. I can kind of right here.
All right, you're right up on that guy.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, like I can't really see the
Okay.
lines.
And then
I
the
need
second
glasses,
action.
Okay,
the
before
second
you do
attack-
your second action, since this guy's going at the same time
Right,
as
right,
you,
right,
I'm going to say as you did that first part
Right,
of your
I got
action,
you.
he's going to get his first part.
That's right. That's fine.
Okay, so then he all of a sudden, as he's running up, and he runs up to Mila, as he's running to Mila and Moss, seeing the attacks coming from this way, he goes straight up to Mila, bangs on his chest, and begins to see an insane rage come over him as he comes forward. And then using his great axe and using this, gaining an advantage on his attack, he is going to roll. Well, good thing he got an advantage. It's a 6. And that's even worse. It's a 2. So it's a 6 plus 5. So that's going to be an 11 to hit Mila. Does that hit you?
Let's see that.
11.
No.
Okay, so as he does this in rage, he kind of blindly swings his great sword at her, and she just ducks with her cat-like reflexes just under it as he swings around. And that is going to end his turn, I believe, right there. And then as he does this, you see him miss and run up to him. Your attack actually now has an advantage on it because he's berserker.
Okay. Yeah. So that's gonna be my.
Well, he's
So
technically
the
not a
second
barbarian.
attack. Let's see.
I know, but I'm just
So it's
saying.
gonna be 21 to hit.
Oh,
And that's gonna be 11 damage. Yep.
All right, 11 damage. As you, what do you hit him with? Your flail?
My flail. Yep.
Okay, yeah, you're allowed. You can describe it if you want to describe it. I hit it. Otherwise, I usually take it. That's how I usually give it. If you
Yeah.
want to, go
So
for it.
after seeing him go to attack Mila, he goes, "Oh no, you don't!" And as he's running up, again a good swing of his flail, and he goes with a little bit of a side swing, because as the flail hits him, he brings his shield up in front of him, and as a bonus action, I'm gonna shove him.
All right, nice.
So this would be a strength contest.
Yeah, sure.
I'm attempting to push him 5 feet away.
All right, strength contest. Oh, Jesus, that's off the table. Let's see. Let's roll it over here. We got a 2 plus whatever his modifier is. We're gonna use a different dice too after this. To 5.
It's gonna be 16.
Yeah, as you hit him and causing 11 damage, he kind of braces himself with damage and just in his rage. But then before he can even catch himself on it, he's poof, just gets shoved back.
So
How far does he get shoved back?
5 feet.
5 feet. Okay.
I'm trying to shove him
Which way
directly away
you want?
from Mila.
Okay, so straight this way. You're basically slapping him back.
Right. Yep.
Okay, cool. There he is. All right, and that. Anything else for your turn then?
Last thing I'm gonna do is move myself between him and Mila.
Okay. You're actually 52.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, and that's going to end your turn. And that's right. They all roll. I roll all the set and the same thing. So these other 2 guys get to go now. And no, they already did. They
moved.
that's right. I forgot. I remember. I did good. I remembered. Okay. That's going to end that and parts of the combat. Then we come to Grenin. Grenin, what are you be doing? You are on top of this man you just drop kicked, who's gathering himself up, getting ready to attack you back. You're looking very hurt.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stab him in the throat with a dart. I'm pretty sure he's gonna die when I do it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for an attack, buddy.
I'll say pitch smack
16.
with your poison.
16 does hit. Or 15, whichever one you said. Go ahead and give me damage. I'm sure you're going to take him on this. I mean, unless you roll it visibly, like you probably got him.
5.
Yeah, that's just enough, man. As you go there, you kind of do one of those, like, as he's gathering himself, gets up, he goes to attack you, just, and he goes, and this falls to the ground, blood coming out of his throat, gargling himself to death. Go ahead, and what else?
From the bushes.
Let me go ahead and get him off the board. All right, and we got to move you from off top.
Okay.
Bye. All right. Yeah. Now, what else would you like to do with your turn, good sir?
Would I be able to use my alchemy jug as a bonus action or no?
I think it takes a full action, dude.
I do believe it does as well. I can check while you guys figure out what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a full action. Brian's gonna look it up real quick just to be sure. But if I remember right, it is. Is there anything? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's full action. I handled idle
You
cards.
can use an action and
Yep.
use liquid.
Yeah, it is a full action to use the alchemy jug.
Okay.
Come on, Josh. You got
just gonna
that.
roll
It's supposed to be fast.
I might have spelled something wrong.
Okay, so
right at the edge where someone would go to
Oh
come
shit, I
in.
wasn't spelled.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Why you want to move yourself? You want me to move you, or you can move yourself? Go ahead, man. He's gonna get himself his movement over there.
Thanks for tuning in, Lost Girl.
Oh, hi!
Hi.
Oh, she jumped on. I wrote her and told her we decided to stream, so. No, I didn't bother. I mean, you can if you want. I mean, I just wasn't really worried about it. The amount, because I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to things like that, the amount of stress I was causing myself was making D&D not fun. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stream it, we're just going to play, I'm just not even going to worry about it. You know? Eventually, once I get things figured out, I'll worry more about it, but for right now, I just want to play and have fun. Yeah. And this seems to be working out just fine for me. So, if other people got complaints, I guess watch something else. All right, so we're, sorry, I lost my thought there for a second. We are at Mitchell. Mitchell, is that the end of your turn? Anything else besides your movement?
No, there's not much else I can do.
Okay, all right, and after Grennan, we come to our favorite Tabaxi, Mila.
Sweet. Alright.
Take the babe.
Passing the baby around.
Am I still in there?
Yeah, you're enlarged for a whole minute, so that's about
Yeah,
you know,
it's 6 seconds. Is every round of combat is 6 seconds per player. So it's 10 rounds of combat. So this would be your round 2. So you got 8 more rounds after this round of enlargement.
You are still a giant kitty cat.
Alright, and remember that I reached this one too, right? This one?
Does Marge say anything about us?
maybe. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I
But
think you maintain your normal speed.
I believe so as well. Just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
you can move. Yeah, move up. You're good. Where are you? What are you gonna do there, Shy? But who are you attacking?
I was wondering if we could reach both the guards.
You gonna try to get both of them? I guess. I think you're within. Yeah, you're next to both of them. You're just at an angle with the other guy. So yeah, you can get both of them. One with one attack and one with your second attack.
Would I be able to grab their heads and just send them both together?
She is large.
I am going to say that if you want to utilize your whole turn to attempt to do this, I will give you a 1 strength check versus both of their strength checks fighting you, and then if you make it happen, we'll go ahead and assign damage to it. So let's go ahead and do that.
You have advantage on strength checks for being enlarged.
Okay, sweet.
So that's.
Is it
Nat 1? Is it a nat 1?
If it's a
But
nat,
you do have advantage, so you can roll again.
did you roll 2 natural 1s? You got advantage.
No, I rolled 2 4s.
You rolled 2 4s. Oh. Okay, so what's the total? Plus your strength modifier?
No strength modifier.
No strength modifier.
Oh.
Wow, even their lowest roll, it was a 5, and they got it. So you go to grab them by the heads, and they both kind of slip down. One of them that just barely gets out of your grasp, you actually grab his helmet off his head. And you pull it off his head as he slides out, looking at this giant Catwoman. The other one kind of standing back, and they're reeling back a little bit, but not getting quite enough grip on them because they're just a little too fast and got out from you. So that's gonna have to end your turn then, since I had to take your whole turn for that whole action, that whole action that gets paid. Okay, then after that we have the remaining couple of guards on the weaker guards that were around there, and it's their turn. They see this going on, and they see these two coming up. I'm gonna say, they're probably going to go to the most immediate threat.
Is he gonna go in the darkness?
1, 2.
Yeah, that's the darkness is there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that
within
is. That's
15
right.
feet
Thank
of
you
me,
for
there is
reminding me.
darkness.
Would they go into the magical
You
yeah,
can't
they
see.
probably would not.
No
They-
one, even not dark vision doesn't help you. You can't see.
Yeah, you can't see. I know. You can't see.
Well,
So they,
Moss can.
I would say they
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I would say they see this dark area and choose to
He's like,
avoid it,
Night vision.
and they come.
Yeah, whatever's in this darkness
20,
keeps making everyone want to kill
25,
themselves.
30.
Like, I am
You
Bird
can't
Box.
quite get in range to attack.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
The funny thing about that is snakes kill birds.
Yeah,
5, 6.
and
And
you
the
know,
other
well, and
decides to come
I
up
do
this way,
weird
too.
missy stuff. And
Neither
people
of them,
do
I
crazy
don't
shit
believe
like
they
they
have
bleed from their ears and
range.
die.
Oh, they do have range. Okay, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to take their crossbows and they are going to fire a shot at. They're going to fire a couple of shots at this large Catwoman that's trying to grab them and smash them together as the largest target in front of them. Let's go ahead and give them. One is going to roll plus 3, so that is a 14 to hit for one,
She's like, no.
and the other one rolls a natural 1. So he is going to probably shoot his friend by accident.
It
So
happens.
does a 14 hit, Mia?
What?
Does a 14 hit?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, 14. Now we'll go ahead and roll damage.
Heavier light crossbow.
It's light 1d8 plus. There's my d8. Alright. That's. I see it.
Once we gotta get out of this initiative, I totally have to take a break.
So, it causing 7 points of damage from one of the crossbows as he whips it up and shoots you in the shoulder, and you grab it, and get hit. The other one goes to shoot, then shaking in fear from this large Catwoman, he shoots it off, and actually, we're going to see if he hits his friend with it by accident since he rolled a natural 1. And he does, in fact, do that. So, like, when they do that and I want to hit them, I always give them a second attack roll, so that natural 1, if they're attacking another person, if they roll high enough to hit again, then they actually do hit them.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it, but that's how.
I like adding things like that too.
Yeah, because it's fun, you know. I mean, you shoot him between a bunch of his guys, you rolled a 1, so he probably just like, hey!
I do the same thing to players.
So it's actually going to hit this guard right in front of you. I don't believe he has any damage, but right now he's going to take a 2,
Oh, yeah, he does.
3 damage now to him.
He should
3.
have some damage on him.
Oh no, not that. This guy shot me, and then this guy was shooting, but this is the guy that hits friend. So this is the one you attacked, right?
Oh, okay, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking that this guy to
But-
the right was shooting. Okay.
Yeah, but causing his fellowing, and he gets shot. Ah! What the hell? And he's like, and they're just like babbling, just in fear and utter astonishment at this large cat Tabaxi person. Okay, and that is going to end our guard's turn, and we come back to the top of the round with Caress.
Caress is gonna slither another 30 feet towards the fray.
Okay.
I want to be like, can I be by that rock, or is that too many?
5. That's 30 right here.
Okay. Alright, and with the magical hissy hiss, I am going to cast sleep.
We're casting it on. Oh, actually, it carries over. That's right.
It's
This spell sends
yeah,
creatures into a magical slumber, 5d8.
You just got to roll your 5d8.
Within 20 feet of a point I choose within
Yeah.
range 90 feet of myself.
So
So
okay, so who are you trying to hit?
I'm gonna, well,
you have
it goes
4
in
people
descending,
actually guards,
ascending
right?
order. So anyone within 20 feet of me.
And it goes from low. What does it go from? Lowest. Hit
Yes,
points to
lowest
highest
hit points
Would
to
be
highest.
lowest hit points.
Highest hit points, and until all the
Until
all
all
the
of the allocation is gone. Yep.
So I have
5d8.
Yeah, go ahead here. I got another d8 here, and here's another couple d8 for you. There's 2 more.
okay. So I have 4 right now. I need 5.
There you go.
Yep. There
Right
we
now I
go.
got 5. All right, and
We got some 8. They got an 8 in there. Nice.
wait, hold on.
So where's he's gone. He's gone. So we have.
In ascending order of their current hit points.
Okay.
23 hit points of sleepy sleep.
23 hit points of sleepy sleep. Okay, so is only one of the guards goes. One of these weaker guards, this one closest to you, is going to be asleep right now. So he is currently sleeping. This other one,
So-
he has 12 hit points. So it's just 1 too short of putting another one.
I see.
Yeah, and he's not
okay.
unless it
Yeah.
takes up all of their hit points.
It's
They're not
1
affected.
short, yeah. So it doesn't have any effect. You see one guy, it just fall to the ground, start beginning to sleep, and then the other guy,
The other ones that have damage on them.
they have higher hit points.
Okay.
Yeah, see, yeah,
That's
they
what I was hoping.
they are
that
hurt,
might-
but they just have higher
Right,
HP.
right.
So they're a little bit
That's
tougher
unfortunate.
guards that were up around where the main guy
Yes,
was.
he's pretty hit and miss.
Yeah.
So you have one asleep and one begins to like almost nodding out completely and gets kisses and like begins to, but one is asleep on the ground, the one right by the rocks right there next to you.
And I will once again darkness my own location.
Your own location. Okay, this darkness take concentration.
I don't think so.
I don't think it does. Alright. No, yeah, so
But neither does the sleep. It just happens. It's
yeah,
a
no, sleep just
duration
happens.
until
yeah.
someone wakes them up or they take damage.
I believe actually darkness does take concentration.
I thought it did.
Yeah, when I moved, it would have stayed on the other side where
Yeah,
it was.
that's what I mean. That means your other darkness is going to dissipate.
Yeah.
And you're going to. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I was making sure.
That's what I'm gonna recast it where I am. I have it. Damn it, darkness.
Notice how we'll see there for concentration.
It's the second one to stop.
But it's my bonus action. I can use it as a bonus action due to some racial ability or something. Or is it my? It's my bard thing. I know it is my bonus action.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's a good question. What bar college?
Yeah, or Bard College.
College of Whispers?
Distant, yeah, College of Whispers or something like that. Because I have Xanathars over here too, if you pulled from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was originally College of Whispers, but I think for this one I changed my college to Glamour so that it's easier to enthrall people.
So did you? Is it
So I might have left.
You might have
left
it
it on there from the other thing and didn't
Okay.
change it all over.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I
cast darkness as a bonus action. is
And I know it has to
pretty
be.
powerful.
I thought there was like a racial ability.
Yeah, I thought
to
that's
do
what
that,
I had it for.
but that's also for elves though too. Dark that's for elves. For yeah, and that's what I mean though. I mean, maybe that I
It
don't.
wouldn't have been from my other ones because I have separate character sheets from that.
Yeah, because you
It doesn't
wouldn't be
really
able-
matter if I cast darkness or not. I mean, I'm just a snack.
Okay, well I would.
Raven knows what all this shit's happening from.
I was just curious. 'cause
Yeah,
I can't
I-
remember which one I got.
smoke
it for.
bombing every turn. That's pretty insane. Yeah, so there's nothing in the colleges here. Let me check.
You know what we can do here? Well, for right now, we'll
I
just
don't need darkness right now.
yeah, we'll just negate it for right now because now
I
you bring
really
up
don't
something.
mean to be a rules lawyer. But
No,
if it gets annoying, let me know.
No, you're good, man. For right now, because now you're saying that, and I didn't realize she was casting it as a bonus action.
I told you it's my bonus.
I obviously I didn't hear you. I didn't realize you were saying bonus. It's my bonus action. I thought you were just casting it, and I didn't remember it was a second level spell because there is ways to cast spells, but it's usually a less powerful spell or a cantrip with a bonus action, not another second level
What the
spell.
hell did I get darkness for my bonus action? I know it's in one of these for some reason.
We get it from an item?
No,
Well, now we're all so curious about this. We gotta find it now. Dark here.
I don't really care.
So you're
There.
pure blood, right?
No, I'm in Malice.
Where did you find that race?
Malison is a level of Yuan-ti. It's the second stage in
Right,
between
right, okay,
an
right.
abomination.
But the race you are is a pure blood, right?
The race I am is Yuan-ti.
Yeah, to
Yes.
pure blood. There's two
Okay.
types.
Pure blood traits? Yeah, but so I was originally, pure blood, but I graduated to Malison.
So did you?
It just makes me more snack-like and less human-like. It's the only way to move up in the Yuan-ti world.
Yeah, the only thing about casting for Yuan-tis is that you can cast suggestion.
Wow.
You know,
where you got that
poison
from.
spray cantrip,
What book is that?
and then one. It's Willow's Guide to Monsters.
Yeah, it's full of good. Yeah.
Because whenever I look up anything about it, like I can never find stuff like this. Like I had to get this from other
Because
stuff.
because if what you're going off of, you know what
Is
I
off
think you
of-
might be going off of is the monster manual. In which case, I didn't bring that with me because I'm not DM.
I bet you it is because.
Well, then that doesn't count for you if you pulled it from source.
Yeah.
Source
I have
that
no
says you
idea
had
what-
that as a Yuan-ti. It might have been from a source that gives it to them as a monster, but
but-
not as a PC. You're not gonna get.
But
that.
I guess I've only felt like even in like when I'm going through like on the groups I'm in on Facebook and on my Reddit, like no one ever
you
plays Yuan-ti. They're only NPCs or enemies.
That's the hard
Right.
thing about going through Reddits and other people's papers and stuff is because people change that shit all the time.
Yeah, and then also that's
And
why I never trust D&D Wiki because D&D Wiki is always
I use it. I can
That's
use
what
it as
I
a
got.
framework, but like I
Yeah.
tell Mitch, I'm like, hey, if you pull from that, remember we're gonna probably have to dial stuff back. We're gonna have to change things as we
Especially
go.
because anybody can add anything. So
Yeah.
a lot of it
You
is
can
just
change
like
whatever they
broken
want.
and OP as hell.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because people want, I want this and I want that. They don't want to actually play the game, and it's like, which is silly because the game's just for fun and stuff. It's not like it's for fun.
Yeah,
Why would you care about being that? Like people are like,
no,
I gotta
no.
have all these things.
And don't get me wrong,
PvP.
I'm not trying to say like, oh no way you can do that. Like if it were somewhere you could do that, awesome, keep doing it.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might. But I think
Right.
your thing with the monster manual might be right. It might have been
That's what I'm
something, and they
thinking.
just tagged it on somewhere where she got her stuff. They're like, oh well, it's in the monster manual.
It's
Yeah,
not
we
a
can talk
problem.
about
It's
it.
just that I thought it was
I
weird.
didn't realize
Some
it. I forgot.
misinformation of where I got my. Because I never saw it as a playable character. It's only
Like
as
someone
NPCs and enemies.
Yeah, I want to say College of Whispers. Not College of Whispers. There was another one that somebody threw out there where bards manipulate shadows, but
Yeah. Well, for right now, we'll go,
Yeah.
since it is a second level spell and everything, and if you're gonna, if
We'll
something
just-
that's gonna
yeah,
be, I'm
we'll
just gonna do it every bonus. We might have to just kind of
We'll
We'll put that to the wayside for right now, and if you want to cast it as an action, cast it as an
Yeah,
action.
let's not. Alright.
Easy enough.
I already used my action for sleep.
Yeah, I can't find it in the box.
Yeah, so it's got. I bet you it got somewhere along the line. You were
Okay.
reading up something, and someone just put it in there because they wanted it. And that's the unfortunate thing you said about the wiki is you gotta be careful. You gotta read through it real carefully because people will just put things in there because that's what they want.
Yeah.
You know? Doesn't mean that someone actually played it and tested it and saw if it was manageable. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just negate that. So what is there anything else you'd like to do for a bonus action? Because I thought you could. I thought you could cast as a bonus action. Oh my god.
Suggestion is what he
No,
said.
no. And there's
Yeah.
another one too that you can cast as a bonus action as a bard. It's fuck, what was you already did it earlier? Oh my god. Why can't I not just?
Distant Whispers or
Yeah,
Vicious
vicious mockery.
Vicious
Vicious Mockery
yeah.
is
That
a
yeah,
bo-
I
is
mean,
a
you can
bonus
cast-
action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can cast
It's
a
a
bonus
cantrip.
action. Yeah, you can cast that as a bonus action. So I would think in the future, if you want to do that, just do a second level spell as an action, then use your bonus action for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the general rule for spellcasting is actually usually if you use your action to cast a spell, you can't use your bonus action to cast another spell. But a lot of DMs, the way that they house rule that is as long as the second spell does not exceed first level,
Yeah.
then it's usually okay.
Yeah, and they're actually in the book when you become I think it's one kind of like sorcerer or something. When you get
Yeah.
higher level, you can cast either a cantrip or it has to be a certain level lower
Right,
than
yeah.
the original spell cast.
Right.
And that's like you said, that's how they usually.
That's
do
when I was Eldritch.
That's why I was like, I was thinking it was. I didn't realize darkness was a second level spell, and I was like, wait,
either.
second level?
I
That's
thought it
real
was
high to be
cantrip.
casting as a bonus action.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
from a simple Google search, it just seems like something somebody created on Reddit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so it's you go watch Reddit. So they probably put it on there and never played that.
It's hopes and dreams.
Yeah, it really. Yeah.
Alright, let's move on. I have to stand up soon.
Okay, no, we're fine. We'll get this combat thing ran
Yeah.
through, and I'm just gonna take a little part way through break anyway.
So
So
let's move on.
yeah, go ahead. Is there nothing else for your turn then?
No.
Okay, then we have Moss and the General up. Moss, what will you be doing for your turn?
Are any of those people like right there dead yet, or they're all still alive?
Nah, the one dude's sleeping, and dude with the gold shield took a little bit of damage, and dude with the silver shield took a little bit.
All right.
And little dude by the rocks is asleep.
Yeah.
I'll just move right up by that there,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. You gonna keep up or gonna keep it?
gold shield guy looks like a good target. Which one was the barbarian guy?
Silver
he's,
shield, bro.
The guy
Silver
that's
shield?
enraged. Yeah, this guy right here your friend Vanna so eloquently hit.
Yeah. I'm going to use Maximilian's Earthen Grasp on the barbarian.
Localization.
Like,
5, 6, 7. He's gonna move up here. Actually.
So he's moving at the same time as me?
Yeah.
So I would see him coming up?
Yeah, you would see him. You see this larger man hit his shield, and he's bashing his shield against his a sword against his shield, coming up and coming in ready, to attack you all along with his men.
I want to use Maximilian so I can grasp on him.
Okay.
I'm seeing him come up. Strength save, and my spell save DC is 15.
So that is a 6. I don't believe. Yep. That's going to be a 6 from him.
And then
That die roll.
2d6 bludgeoning damage, and he is restrained.
Alright.
As
And then he gets
The
a
bonsai-
save at the end of every turn.
yeah, as the bonsai tree on the back of Moss's shell begins to glow ethereally, and you see all of a sudden the ground around the feet of him as he's coming up, bashing his shield. He looks down and sees it start to rumble, and then his fingertips come up all around him like little pillars, and all of a sudden it's a giant earthen hand that just wraps around him and holds his arms and his shield crushed against his body.
He's just
dealing-
sitting there, he's like being squeezed. How much damage are you
He
dealing?
is dealt 15 damage.
15 damage. Alright. He's looking hurt. You see little blood creeping out of certain parts of his armor. You can see it's definitely hurt. He's doing trying to struggle to get out of it, but for now restrained.
You're not going anywhere there, mister.
Alright, anything else from then you? And that's your concentration, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it's concentration.
Is anything else then from you, Moss?
I'm trying to make sure. Oh yeah, it is concentration.
Is there a verbal component to that spell?
Is there? Yeah, there is a little bit of a verbal in there.
Hearing you cast the spell, I think Van's gonna kind of look over his shoulder and go, maybe send the Baron out to see if there's any more coming.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. And then, yeah, I'll use the bonus action to fidget, go make a ring around the perimeter. Let me know if anyone's coming.
Fidget does go up and does begin to go out where we'll say as he goes around, and he'll come back to you the next turn because it's a good radius.
Yeah.
But I say as he's going around so far, and if something comes up, I'll say in that moment when he does. But for right now, he's not seeing anybody until he comes back to you. So, okay, and is that your turn then, good sir?
Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, then we are going to go to Van and the other guards. Van, how would you like to start this off? Because I believe this guard, now that the darkness has been released, is going to come to this immediate threat right here for him. And then these guards are going to stay where they are and going to attack. So what will you be doing?
I wouldn't mind to see what the guards are gonna do first.
Yeah, the one in front of you, very upset with you, is going to go ahead and continuing his berserker to attack you with his great axe. I'm sorry, I was for it. That is advantage, so that's a good thing because that was a natural 1 and an 18. That's going to be 21 to hit, which I'm sure hits.
Yeah.
Then let's see a damage. Where are you? There we go. There's a D. D12.
Van sees the strong blow coming his way and puts up his shield.
Okay, D12 plus a. I thought that shield just raised your AC, or is that shield?
It does, yeah. It's just a flavor.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I should imagine that fellow with the ammo. Alright, so we got 9 plus 3, so it's going to cause you 12 points of damage as he comes with his great axe, and you bring up your shield, and almost putting a good little tiny divot in the shield a little bit, hitting you so hard, but as you hit, you push back, all the way up through your arm and everything, causing that 12 damage. And then the other guard, this other one going up to Brennan is going to, as well, begin to berserk and rage as he walks up to him, giving himself advantage again on the attack, which that's going to be a 6 and then a 3, so a 6. It's 6 plus, a 6 plus 5, so that is 11 to hit, Brennan.
No.
Okay, so he goes to swing, and you kind of use your monk-like frog abilities and dodge out of the way. And then we have our last one in this section of guards, which is him right here, who is going to go ahead and make his attack at the large cat in front of him once again, and using his berserking rage gets an advantage, which is going to
I'm
be
not
an
the only
8
one who can hiss.
plus 5, so that's going to be 13. 13 to hit.
It's like equal to it, is that?
Mila,
Yeah.
is the 13 to hit? Does 13 hit you?
So I'm going to use my
I
reaction.
think it was equal to
Mhm.
it.
I took up the protection fighting style.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as I have my shield drawn, and
Alright.
if somebody within 5 feet of me gets melee
Yep,
attack,
she is.
I can impose disadvantage to the attack.
Okay, so actually that neutralizes it. His first roll was
It's
it?
a
He rolled,
13 to hit.
he rolled. That was his best roll because it was advantage.
Oh.
So that was an 8. I think his first roll was a 2. So 2 plus 5 is 6, 7. So it reduces it to a 7.
So,
So
as
7 does not hit.
since I can't impose my shield, since I've just been hit, the reaction will be kind of grabbing Mila's arm and pulling her aside
Yeah.
as the swing comes down.
As you do that, this giant Catwoman kind of lurches a little to the side, and just the swipe of this man's great axe swings right just past her side, missing her.
And as he kind of pulls her to the side, he's gonna look up at her and go, "All right, these guys are for you." And I'm gonna go ahead and take the. It's gonna be 4 opportunity attacks coming my way.
All right.
If I can just borrow this.
And I believe they're all doing this till the end of their neck. They have
Or actually-
disadvantage
If I go,
on all melee attacks, so they will get advantage on you.
Is it
All
gonna be-
berserkers.
yeah, is it gonna be fair to say that I can move through friendly space? Can I move
Yeah, I would
this
say that's fine.
way? Okay, then I can.
So
avoid
that
one
guy,
of
that
the
man,
attacks.
you will be fine.
So I'm gonna
that,
get a hit here.
yeah, he's gonna get you. So that's gonna be with an advantage. That's gonna be a 16 and a 4. So 16 because he still has his berserker on. So that's probably gonna hit. So one will hit.
So there's gonna be 2 more because I'm doing up to
Okay,
here.
then the other guard.
No.
Okay, so he rolls a 10 plus 3, so that's a 13 from him.
That's gonna miss.
Okay.
And then so there will be 3 attacks total.
Okay, so it's both those guys. Okay.
Both those guys will also.
All right, so that's a
I'm gonna
13
move right up to this asshole.
plus 3, so that's going to be 16. Does that hit?
Nope.
Okay, so the only one that hits is that guard right next to Mila, and he gets his regular damage, which is a D12, which is going to be 4 plus 3, so 7 damage. As you come by, missing his swipe with his great axe, he kind of sees you pulling and then making the movement through him, and he swings it back up from the ground, catching you a little bit. Just as you pass by, the other guards try to follow suit, but you're too fast and too agile and dodge right around.
Yeah, the catch actually helps me. He grabs my leg a little bit, so I tuck and roll under the next blow, and as the next one comes at me, I guard it with my shield. Run right up to this general, and
Ripped by this large, forceful hand of earth holding him together.
yeah. So in case he slips that, a loud growl comes from Van. He's gonna just bring his flail down, invoking the spirit of Nuada, and as he smacks him, I'm going to use the Cavalier ability called Unwavering Mark.
Okay.
So for the next round, if he tries to hit anyone but me, he has disadvantage on it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and see my attack. It's going to be 20 to hit
Oh, yep, that definitely hits.
with 12 damage.
All right, 12 damage to the big guy up there.
And then we're going to give him 1 more smack since I have 2 attacks this turn.
All right, go ahead and
And
get to your
that's
turn.
24 to his head.
Yeah, that hits.
And 6 for damage.
Okay, all right, another 6 there. Starting to look like man starting to look like some wear and tear. You're starting to see some of his armor coming apart, a little bit of blood trickling out. Definitely starting to see him in some pain. A little slight set of fear in his eyes as he sees his men dropping.
Oh, I almost forgot. Restrained creatures, I get advantage on the attack against them.
Okay, yeah, reroll
So
that.
let's just see if I get crits.
Yeah, just no 20.
No. Okay.
Cool.
Sweet.
Sweet. Yeah. Nice, man. All right. And is that going to be everything for your turn?
Yeah,
Then,
that's my
Victor?
turn.
All right. Then it was you, and we already did the guys that are fighting their turn. So now we come to Grennan, with that guard right in front of you that just tried to attack you after the darkness dissipated, missing his attack of your agility to dodge him.
Alright, I'm gonna attack the one in front of me.
All right.
14 to hit.
14. Oh yeah, that just barely. You just hit.
Okay. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, so.
Then
Damage.
Constitution save.
Constitution save. So that is going to be 14 for a Constitution save.
Alright, he makes it.
All right.
Then I'm gonna move right next to this guy.
By the way, the character stat block for them is actually really strong.
Over and next to him.
Resistance. Yeah, this stuff is
All
all.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I have all that. He printed off for me from the.
Well,
but
one
it's-
resource I could find.
Yeah.
I got to get some more
And
books.
I think it's in the same. Where are you? I think I just went past it.
Okay, Mitchell, what else you got going on for your turn, buddy?
Yeah, it's the one.
You got any more attacks?
I'm moving over to
But
the
this
one
is because
next
this
to
is
man.
not.
Okay,
it's not
now
an actual,
he's
like,
going to get an attack of
play rate
opportunity
for
because he
monsters.
moved out of the space of combat.
This is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
This is all.
And that's going to be a natural 20 for
This
his
is restriction
attack of
traits.
opportunity.
I have the mobile feat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yep. So he goes to swing at you, but you dodge right out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Dan. What else would you like to do with your turn, good sir?
Monsters.
I'm sending a key point.
Okay.
Use flurry of
It's
blows.
almost entirely accurate.
So.
All right,
I
on
just- this is
the
what I
big
think I
bag
started
gripped up, huh?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me
It's just
attacks.
that the reason why I like to have the source books and everything like that, and I delve through everything before I decide on something,
20 for the
is
first
because
one.
like
Hits.
like the innate spellcasting that
And
you
14 for the
they
second one.
just kind of
14 misses.
You're not controlling the entire
All right,
thing,
go
you
ahead.
know what I mean? So like,
Go ahead and give
but
me damage on
suggestion
that
is also
first one
great
there.
Because what you're trying to tell me is like you like to kind of like seduce people.
That's what I
9 damage.
Suggestion.
9
you will do that
damage,
at will.
okay.
That is insane.
And
That
then
is so good.
Constitution save.
So like if we didn't even kill this general, for example, suggestion, you give him a command, he has to follow that command. So
That is up just a couple.
it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
and that's
All
why
right,
I
he
changed-
takes
I
the
went from
damage.
the
And
College
anything
of
else for your
Whispers
turn, then,
originally
good
to
sir?
the College of Glamour because it's easier to
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
draw
right. I'm
and
sorry about
seduce
that.
people.
Here,
The College of
Constitution
Glamour
save.
allows
That's
a
a
little
natural
more-
20. He makes it.
Hey, you want to do what I want?
Exactly. Suggestion can be terribly strong.
Down one.
Yeah,
There we go.
I
Okay. All right, and then that's your
Also,
turn.
second
We
spell.
come to
Yep.
now.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Mila, what's up,
It's
girl?
pretty great.
Alright, I'd like to use Pole Lightning.
All right.
We
And
have
pretty much a
some,
10-foot tall, 60-foot radius from cloud cinder for your center of the point you can see within range directly above you.
Okay.
The spell fails if your location can accommodate the cloud's size or height. When you cast the spell, you get to choose a point under
again,
the
we have
cloud for
snake
lightning
form
to
and
strike.
psionic
Okay.
abilities. We can
More
talk to
than 5
snakes. We
feet
can
must make a
command,
dexterity
like partial
save
talk.
to
I can
save
ask
the
my
snake
snake to go do
down.
something.
Unavail
I
and
love
have
that,
on a success
Even
while
as a
that
DM,
spell
I'd be like, no,
persists.
this is totally fine.
Yeah.
It's not in the book.
Okay. Go ahead. Where are you going to be
I
placing
got
this?
most of it from, things like,
I'm gonna be placing it
D&D Beyond,
right here.
the books.
Like, okay, that's where you're gonna put it, right back there between those
Piece
guys.
together a
Okay.
playable Yuan-ti character.
What's the radius? What you said?
Like I
Within
said,
5
most
feet,
of it-
correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're lightning it. For
Oh,
lightning
like I said,
strike.
Okay, so anybody within that 5 feet of that lightning strike's got to make the save, correct?
Darkness is so hard to pierce. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So you gotta kind of take
Yeah,
that
because
into...
of the drought.
You sure you don't want to put it in between
Guys.
all 3 of them? Because there is 3 guards there. I don't know if you see them next to the rocks. There is another guard there.
For
Oh,
drought.
yeah.
I have, because I have
Okay,
another
so
drought
all
character
3 of
that
them are
does
going to
have
make
it.
So there was
saves.
just some...
One rolls a natural 1.
So,
One rolls
I'm not sure what we're writing on this one. It
a
might have come from
15.
something.
Does that make your DC?
Because this is not. This is
people making
Okay.
mistakes.
And then
People make half damage though.
I like
okay,
suggestions
so
of the
half
darkness,
damage on
way
that
more
one,
useful in
and
my
then
life.
another one's gonna roll a
Right.
natural 20. So
It's
he
just,
does a half damage.
I'm kinda
Okay,
gotta
go ahead and
keep
roll
it
damage for me
That's
then.
not a bad thing anyway. So.
No, and that's my people's way. I'd rather.
So these
You're like,
top 2 are
hey,
gonna get half
hey,
damage, and he
no.
gets full damage.
And keep in mind also as a bard, I haven't seen you use it yet, but the bardic inspiration. Another part of your commanding people is you can make us do better.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
cool thing about
I
it.
have, and my
Teamwork
wonder
makes
is teamwork, and
Plus 13
so like I had
damage.
the perfect
13
my
damage?
random item roll. I rolled
Alright.
the
Okay,
bardic instrument.
Both
an
of these
epic
lesser
bardic
guards
instrument,
just
I
go
have the
Cha!
spear.
And just
So
get
like I can do all
incinerated
this
by the
crazy
lightning.
shit. Walls of fire,
This
stone
guy
shape,
is now
fly,
gone.
invisibility, levitate, just protection from good and evil.
This guy is now
Just by being like,
gone.
it adds my
Nothing but
charming
ashes
ability
on
is
the
increased
ground.
by 1.
The other one
Whatever to my
taking
roll, it's plus
half of
1
it,
for
half
anything
of
when I
that,
try to
taking
charm someone.
you said
as long
13,
as I
so we'll
have
give
the
it
leer-
7 points of damage.
Because technically my bardic,
He
my
sitting there, he's
spell
struggling.
focus is my punging.
You see
I'm snake
smoke
charmer.
smoldering off his
Gotcha,
armor and
gotcha.
off of him and everything, and as he turns to
So I
you
have two
and just
bardic
with a
instruments.
furious
One is-
look on his face, the giant Catwoman who's just struck him with lightning.
The giant cat who struck him with lightning. That's a lot of static charge.
Okay, and that's what he said.
What
6
happens
damage
when
to
10,000
him,
cats rub
and
against one
God knows.
surface?
So yeah.
After this, she wants to stand and scream, "Oh, I hate human!"
Kill all humans!
All right. Is that going to be it for your turn then, Mila?
Yep.
All right. And since those other guards are all dead now, their turn is gone. We come back to the top of the round to Caress.
Cool. So there is only 2,
Yeah.
3
There
There's
is
three.
besides the
Oh wait,
general.
no, yeah. Besides the general.
Yep.
Who is thoroughly fucked, so don't.
Yeah.
Even,
I'm not even.
He's
Right, no,
yeah,
I wasn't
it's
even
really
worried about
bad
him.
stuff.
You know what? I am close enough. I'm gonna slither up to this one lone dude that's probably gonna try and run
off
for
in the
it.
distance over here.
Yep, the one to my right.
Oh yeah.
Where am I? Where's this? I don't know what's
It's
happening.
down here.
Make
What
it-
do you want to slither to?
I want to go to the gold shield on my to the right, all by himself.
Oh yeah. You can totally
I'm
do it.
in my snack. I want to literally slither up this dude's pants because I want to touch him. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Two trousers.
Kinky.
I am a trouser snack right now. I slither up this dude's pants, bestow curse,
Okay.
and
Curse his penis.
I am going to. I bind you from doing harm against yourself, and I bind you from doing harm against others. I bind you from doing harm against yourself, and I bind you from doing harm against others. He must make I believe it's a saving throw.
Okay.
Bestow curse. Must succeed on a wisdom savings throw or become cursed for the duration of the
14.
spell.
14? Does that
No,
make your spell
It's not even fucking close.
All right.
I mean, it is close, but not fucking close enough. Alright, so because of my binding curse is what I'm doing. While cursed, the target must make a wisdom savings throw at the start of each of its turns. If it fails, it wastes its action by doing nothing.
Okay.
I bind you from doing harm against yourself and harm against others.
Okay. All right. He doesn't take any damage or anything else.
No, that is what the
Okay.
curse is.
I just wanted to make sure. All right, so he is now cursed as he sits there and goes, it's like starts pounding at his pants after this curse is start
And
trying to, but he kind of,
how
every
much-
time he tries to do
How much
something.
movement was that?
That would be 25. So you have 5 foot of movement.
Yep.
Cool, so then I want to slither back out of his pants.
Okay, yeah, I believe you.
I don't know if that'd be attack of opportunity or not.
As long as you're within the range of combat, it's not attack of opportunity.
Okay,
so
yeah, I
if
just
the
want
person is
5 feet
10 foot
back
reach,
out. No, I want
Yeah.
5 feet back. I want back out of his
You're
pants.
just next to him then.
Cool,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I
I
want
just didn't put you on top.
I'm back
of
out
him,
of his pants.
Yeah, so you're there out just within 5 feet of him, so you sure fine. No attack of opportunity.
Cool.
I mean,
Um,
you couldn't really do it anyways.
Then I will end my turn.
All right.
I can't attack him really,
Yeah.
because I'm a snack. What's he gonna do? Like crunch at the ground and
Well, I
hope
mean,
he
he
steps on
can't
me?
take an action.
He can't.
Yeah.
You
well,
can't.
unless
He can't.
unless he passes that save.
But he
Yeah.
failed this one,
If he
so that
passes that
counts.
save, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so let's see. Then we have Moss and the General, who's going to make his strength check again, or his save
Break out a
to break
Maximilian.
out. Which is going to be.
Oh wait, no. Maximilian has its own strength modifier, doesn't it?
I think so. So it's 13 plus 4, so 17. So let's see if he manages to break himself free. Which. Wait, is it the.
Yeah.
It's 15, so he does break free, which is to say the end of the turn or the beginning of the turn?
sorry.
That's what matters, because if it's end of the turn, then he can't do shit else. If it's the beginning of the turn, then he can actually do something.
It just says to break out, the restrained target can make a strength check against your spell save. On success, the target escapes and is no longer restrained by the hand.
Okay, so I'm going to say if it doesn't specifically say at the end of your turn, then it's going to probably
Does
take
his-
an action anyway.
Does his turn go before mine or after
It's a
mine?
simultaneous.
It's simultaneous?
Yeah, you guys are in the same role. I usually did.
For the ruling here, like because of the spell, I would say dexterity mods.
Oh, well,
Against
fucking
each other.
None.
None?
Yeah.
If he has any dexterity mod, then he wins. He gets.
Yeah,
to go
he
first.
does. He definitely
Yeah,
has
yeah,
a plus.
he goes
He has
Because I
a
see what you're saying. Because
I
you
was
want to
gonna
just grab him
crush him.
again.
Yeah, he's got
gotcha.
+2 dex, so I would say that then he breaks out.
So he would get first.
So
Okay.
as he's doing this, and you go to reach up to try to squeeze the hand around him again, he kind of just breaks it all off of him. Looking
Grab
at
him,
it, is there
poison man,
anything you
grab
can
him.
do? Because I'm gonna assume it doesn't specify, but I'm going to assume that takes an action for him to roll that save to get out of it. Because it doesn't specify beginning or end, so I'm going to say it's got to be an action that he's taking. To
Yeah,
do it.
when you attempt to break a grapple, it's an instant action.
Yeah, so it's got to be. An
That's what that
okay, so I don't believe he has. Is there anything he can do? No, there is not much he can do. He gets.
Accurate?
Yeah.
It's almost 6
Yeah, he
o'clock.
does. He sits there and just looks around and says, "You are going to pay!" and just screams it out and gets ready to come and just hit whoever's near him. Yeah, but that's gonna end his turn, Moss. So whatever else you want to do. Buddy.
Well, since Maximilian's Earthling Grasp is a concentration, the hand is still there. He's just broken free, so I can use an action to attempt to re-grab him.
Okay, you do so, and he's going to roll his save once again, which is going to be
Shit.
7 plus his strength, which is 5. So that's going to be an 11.
Yeah, I got a 10. No, wait. I got an 11. Yeah, 4 plus 7 to hit. Yeah.
So I would say that you take him then if it ties.
Yeah.
It's just like an armor class. If you meet an armor class that hits,
Yeah.
or just like a spell save DC. If you meet the spell save DC number, you make the save.
It's meet or beat, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I need it then, yeah.
Yeah. So you are successful.
Yes.
Just barely successful, but you are successful. And you grapple him once again, and you go, "Oh, you mother!" and just starts screaming, getting squeezed once again. Go ahead and give him some damage.
And that'll be 9 damage.
9
from
damage. All
The
right.
gripping earth crusting over his skin.
Okay. All right, and then that is going to end your turn. Or are you anything else you're doing?
For the bonus, I just is Fidget gonna come back around?
Yeah, by this point in time, Fidget does come back around and floats down to you and relays to you that he has not seen any other close by human camps or other reinforcements coming in at the time.
Okay. Cool. And then I'll just have him go back out again.
Yeah, he goes out and continues to keep patrolling as you guys
Keep
are
the
fighting.
perimeter, Fidget.
And if any, what I'll do is every once in a while, once we get out of combat, I'll have you roll a perception check for him. Yeah, every once in a while.
Okay.
All right. Then that's going to be your turn, and we come back to Van and the other guards. Van, I would say you probably have higher decks to them, so it's up to you if you want to go first.
Yeah. Well, I have a +2, so I don't know.
Oh, well, you really?
Yeah.
They got. They have a +1, man.
Okay, cool.
Oh wait,
So-
no, I'm sorry. They have. Yep, +1. Yep, that's it.
I need to
Okay,
go. My next turn, I'm probably just gonna either grip that guy or kill one of these guys by Mila. But I gotta go check on the boy.
Oh yeah, go check in corner real quick. It's all good. I got you. You got a little bit of time. Your turn to come back around anyway.
If the boss guy goes down, then just whichever one of those, I'll shoot a
So-
firebolt.
Then
No.
the question becomes, how is this guy looking physically?
Physically, you're looking at the general. He's looking pretty beat up. I mean, from comparison when he was, he's bleeding a bit and everything. He's not looking at like he's at death's door. He's looking pretty injured.
Okay. So, I think we're gonna start by expending another unwavering mark on him.
Okay.
So again, just kind of yelling in his face, "You're not moving anywhere!"
Yeah. All right.
I get advantage on the attack roll. So that's gonna be 16 to hit.
Just barely hits.
That's gonna be 11 damage.
11 damage. All right. So now after this, and you taking this blow on him, now he's looking pretty rough. Now he's definitely looking beat up. You see a little bit of the fight starting to leave his eyes as he's starting to realize his situation is not going the way he would like.
What do I want to do here?
His baby's crying in the distance.
All right. The problem Van's having right now is he doesn't particularly trust anybody he's with.
Yeah, I can understand that. Everybody's just been brought together.
So,
Right? I don't
You
know
kind
how
of-
much you know about me, but
he kind of points over the earth to Grennan and says, "Don't kill him. Knock him out, please."
Please.
And then I'm just gonna turn and run back.
Okay.
Yeah, got this. Whoop. And then I'm gonna turn and run back over wherever the mouse is. Turn
Oh,
off.
yes, for this one, buddy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I can move you if it's easier for me, or if
Nope,
you can see
I'm
this.
just
Alright, there you go. buddy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here.
Alright.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move there, and then my second attack is gonna go on Gold Shield Dude.
Alright. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Oof, that's not too great. 15.
Yeah, it does hit. It does hit.
Let's see. Why am I not able to math right now? 10 damage.
10 damage. Alright, let's
My math
see.
broke.
Gold, that's that guy. Gold is this guy. Okay. This man now looking quite beat up, but still hanging on.
And then if he doesn't mind giving me some contest of strength, I'm gonna try to shove his ass back with my shield.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Oof.
That's going to be
I got 12.
8 plus 3, so he
Oof.
gets a 12. So
Alright,
you do
cool.
shove him just
So, I'm gonna
barely.
just shove him 5 foot back, just to
Alright.
annoy him, honestly.
All right, so this gold guy, you just want to push him back.
Yep.
There we go. He's just kind of. He's like monkey filth, and this is just getting angry and upset, and he's looking hurt, but now it's mad. It's just people just pushing around, beating him up, and cutting him up. All right, and that's going to be. That's your turn, but these guys are going at the same time.
Yep.
So you have the dex. So now this one is going to continue to attack Mila. So Mila is going to get an attack, and he's going to continue. I'm sorry, you had an advantage on that attack because they're all berserking. So you want to roll again, see if you got a 20? Get a crit?
Sure. Nah.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Pretty far
they
off.
keep using this ability, and I got to remember you guys get an extra
Right,
roll.
right,
You know,
right.
so it's like, oh man. Yeah. Okay, so he's berserking and still raging. He rolls a 12, and then a natural 20.
I'm gonna go
Finally,
ahead
it
and,
works out for him.
I'm gonna go ahead and impose disadvantage on him,
Oh, you are. So then he's going to go back to his first roll, which was a 12.
which I believe still hits, but
Yeah, at least it's not a natural 20.
Yeah.
So that's a 12. 12 plus, what is it? 5. So that's going
That is
to
my
be,
DI.
yeah, that's going to be 17 to hit. And that is going to be 1d12 of damage to Mila plus 1. So that's going to be a 9 plus. But, I'm sorry, yeah, plus 3, I'm sorry. So 9 plus 3. So that's 11 points of damage done to you, Mila, as he seems super confident, then suddenly kind of hesitates a second, and still hitting you, but missing this vital blow that he once had that in his sights. So, but causing you the 11 damage still. And then the next one that you had pushed back, he, after being pushed back, is going to get just pissed off and just run right up to you and try to get an attack on you again. So he's going to continue his berserker to use to be able to roll an advantage. That's going to be a 19 plus 5 to hit, so yeah, 24 I'm sure hits.
yeah.
So and then we got our D12, which is 4 plus 3, so 7 points of damage it causes to you. Swinging down the great axe, not quite getting enough of a grip, chunk on you as he wanted, but still slashing you down and causing some damage. And then we have our last guy here, who is next to Caress. He sees this snake and goes to chop at the snake on the ground that just came out of his pants. And then he has to roll his
Wisdom.
which is going to be a 12 plus
15.
0. So he goes and just and just stares at you and stops moving and gets real confused and actually uses his movement and backs up a couple steps. Just out of shock, why not understanding why he couldn't guss it, which gives you an attack of
Can
opportunity.
you bite him as a snake?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
I can bite him as a Yuan-ti or as a snake.
Yep.
Nice.
I have fangs.
Give him a little bite.
I was about to.
Yep,
I'm
roll
gonna
it, roll
bite
it.
him right on his inner
Go-
thigh.
roll an
Going
attack,
for it.
Damn ankle biter.
I was going for inner thigh, right below the left testicle.
Just get that artery.
Ah,
Ooh,
dude.
that's unfortunate.
Oh, you get advantage because it's Berserker, though. Because
Yeah.
he used his ability.
So
He's
do I
been
roll
using
again?
his ability, so you can roll again.
No.
Then it's
Oh
you
my
again. Ah, jeez.
You know what you do with that, right? You just take this and you can just kind of chill right here.
Let's use my other
My
hand.
black die
down,
never
right?
do me wrong.
I don't know.
They're all the dice I have are pretty well balanced though, so they go all over the place, which
I
is
mean-
good for the game, you know. Sometimes it just like does not hit, and you're like fuck.
I mean, right? Like, what would I even use to do like plus what? Is it
Yeah.
dexterity? I mean, I'm a snack.
Okay, so that misses. As you go to bite him, he kind of keeps backtracking.
Unless his AC is like below a 7.
Yeah, he keeps backtracking as you go to bite him and just kind of gets scared and like it's just confused and doesn't understand why he can't do the things he's trying to do. But then that is going to end all their turn, and then you're done with yours. And then we come next round person in combat, which is going to be Grennan. What are you going to be doing, Grennan?
Yeah, I'm gonna go attack the one that is near Caress.
Okay, yeah, I can bring you over there. So 5,
yeah.
10, 50. It's well within your reach to get to him. Alright, there you go.
I'm going to attack him one time.
Alrighty. Damn, sound like you dropped a brick.
19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits, buddy.
8.
8 damage, alright.
And then Constitution save.
Alright, and he makes his Constitution save, which is a 15 plus 3, so he makes it 18. They're hitting the Constitution saves on you, man.
Damn.
I don't know what it is. But he still takes the 8 damage. He's looking pretty beat up now, pretty hurt. Like, these guys have taken a little bit of damage, and they're starting, and you can see the fear in his eyes as he's looking confused and then gets attacked, and you see him now contemplating why he's even standing there. You're thinking over his life choices. Yeah. Alright, then anything else from you?
One more unarmed fist attack.
Alright, go ahead and roll it for me.
24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and make his save.
And 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, he made he rolled his save, which is going to be a 10.
No, he does not.
Okay, so it's the 5 damage plus what for your poison?
Poison for 1 minute.
Oh, he's poisoned for 1 minute. So how much is the damage on it every round?
I believe it's 1d6.
1d6. Okay, well you roll the d6 because it's your poison, so I'll let you roll it. So go ahead and give me a d6. We'll add to that 5.
4.
4, so that's 9 points of damage now. He is looking like on about death's door. This guy, and you see like poison pulsing through him. You see him begin to turn pale. He looks and he just in an overwhelming fear of just his own mortality in sight coming over him as he stands there in front of you, now poisoned and near just beat to shit. Okay, if there's nothing else from you, Grannon?
I'm going to step 5 feet away.
Okay, and we'll give him attack of opportunity.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Keep forgetting you have that. Sorry. You step 5 foot back away from him. He kind of goes to swing and he can't. He just sits there anyways because I forget he has that curse anyways. Yeah.
I bind him.
Okay, so then after that we have Mila. Still enlarged. I think we're in 5 rounds now, so you still got a little more time of being enlarged. You have been forgetting your extra d4 damage for being enlarged too. I just want to let you know. Oh wait, no, you did lightning. That's magic. Never mind. I forgot that. But yeah, go ahead. What would you like to do?
So I'd like to call lightning to the guy, like just before the guy in front of me.
All right. And he's got to roll. Got to roll his save, which is going to be what was it, Dex? So 7.
No, he does not.
He takes full damage. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Hey, 21 points of damage.
Okay, is this the guy right next to you, to your left?
Yes, Miller.
Yeah, you
He did.
literally incinerate this guy as lightning is called out of the sky. Crackles. You see the guy get a pale look on his face, and then as his eyes roll up to the sky, suddenly lightning streaks down him, and you see him turn black to ash, and then just
Yeah, and for
and
my
to crumple
bonus
apart.
action,
Huh?
for my bonus action,
Yes.
I would like to jump to try getting the guy in front of
Van?
Yeah. Do you want to jump to do what exactly?
I want to try, since I'm using everything, I want to try like taking it down, like getting them into the ground.
You want to like jump on top of him?
Well, yeah.
Like a jumping front kick.
Okay.
Is she meaning like literally just like?
Are you literally meaning like trying to stomp him into the ground like a nail or something? Like a.
Because that's like an action.
Yeah, just like jumping. Not
Okay.
jumping on top of it, just jumping kind of.
Or trying to like shake the ground and scare him, kind of thing.
No, just jumping.
You just want to jump on top. I'm just saying. Do you want to just jump in front of him, or are you gonna jump on top of him and try to stomp on him?
Would that take a full action?
Yeah, probably.
Then I just want to jump right next to him then.
You can kind of go, yay, and we'll call it with your movement, I guess, and just be like, aha, I'm over here now. So we can do like that, yeah, but yeah, that's not a problem. You do, in fact, do a leap and kind of land in front of him, and he kind of goes, oh, man, just like backs for a second.
That's a big pussy.
Less than 7 years, I left the ground in shape.
And you're not that big. You're not quite that big.
You're
I mean, I'm sure it does, but not enough to really hurt anybody. Probably scared the shit out of it. It'll scare him, probably. He's like, holy fuck, this thing jumps in front of me. Alright, anything else for your turn then, Mila? You do anything else for you, Mila? Okay.
And pretty much, I just get like, yeah, I get 2d6 of healing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll your healing and add it to your health and everything. Okay, then we come back up to Caress at the top of the round once again. All the various guards that are the couple that are remaining looking very hurt. This fancy armored man looking a shell of his former self, beaten and bloody and gripped by this large earthen hand.
Well, I was gonna do something, but all the other actions have totally changed my original plan.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. Welcome to D&D.
Okay, that's okay.
Oh shit! I knew what I was gonna do, and now I have a spellbook. Fuck.
Yeah.
No, damn, now I got a chance. So, all right, I guess I'll just roll with this.
We tried
So-
to plan ahead.
I'm gonna turn and look at this the guy that is in front of Van and Mila, and he's within 120 feet of me. So all I have to do is stare at the back of his freaking head. I will cast a Crown of Madness.
And you're doing it on this guy by Mila, correct?
Yes.
All right. And what is this?
One humanoid of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for
And
the
it is
duration.
a natural one, so they definitely don't succeed.
No, he is charmed by me for the duration 1 minute. While the target is charmed this way, a twisted crown of jagged iron appears on its head and a madness glows in its eyes. The charmed target must use its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that I mentally choose.
Okay.
The target can act normally on its turn if I choose no creature or if none are within its reach.
All right.
Hold on, I want to make sure my other one isn't I don't think bestow curse is concentration, but I want to
I'm
make.
almost positive it's not.
I don't think it is
Yeah,
either.
I think they just have it.
I have to be
after that.
touching them once I start it, but I don't
Yeah.
have to maintain touch.
Yeah, I don't believe
There it is. Yeah, it is.
It is.
Concentration.
Your bestow curse would end then.
That's fine. He's.
Okay, so as you do this action, all of a sudden, the guy kind of that odd feeling he had. He's still very fearful, but this feeling of not being able, he kind of feels a relief all of a sudden, and kind of checks his pants because that's where it originates from. This feeling of relief, and then he kind of gets gears up, still afraid and hurt, but kind of looks around and does his defense. But then looks over to his friend who now has this iron crown and begins to give a crazed look around at him, kind of, and it's like. So they're looking around with a general stare malaise of madness over him. What else would you like to do with your turn?
Okay, well, I will. I'm gonna command him to do as I wish to use his melee to attack. Someone that I choose.
And he has to use his melee attack before he moves, correct? At the beginning of his turn.
That's
Alright.
what it said. Yeah.
Alright.
So I'm gonna make him move to attack his leader.
The problem with that is that he has to use the attack
Before he can move.
Before
Yeah,
moving?
It says that it specifically says he has to attack and then he can freely move, but he has to use an attack.
Can you make him attack himself, or can you not?
No, I don't know.
No, it says other than himself.
That would be great.
It says the charge. Yeah, he must use its action before
Jesus.
moving.
Chang.
Yeah.
Yeah, before moving. Yep. So it's a better use spell when they're in a crowd and their own people are in ranks of their own guys. And
I
they're
didn't.
right next to
I
them.
didn't read it.
Because then they just go,
correctly.
and they just before they move, they stab their friend next to them,
And then they run off. All
and then they
mad.
run off.
Well, I mean, I still did it, so he's still going mad. It's
Well, you could still order him attack that person, and then he could try to figure out a way to do it, and he can attack that
Nothing.
direction.
Yeah, he'll
but he won't
take-
do anything. He won't hit him. You
Yeah.
know?
So
Well, no, it also specifies if they're not in range, then he gets
He-
to act freely.
Okay.
he would act as he normally would.
But okay, so it's saying to use his action. So the assumption in the spell is that he would use it on his turn.
Yeah.
So
Right?
you can at least
so
so
he's not going
what
to
you
do
can
anything
do-
right now because it's not his turn.
Exactly. So what you can do is order him to attack me, so he doesn't attack Mila.
Mhm.
That way, on his turn, he has to use an attack on me. Then he can move away if he wants to, because he has free movement. But he can't dictate where he attacks.
Yeah.
So just have him attack me.
Well, she can also choose to just not have him attack. He just loses that option then once he starts moving.
I think is that
No,
what it
he-
is?
Well, no,
no,
no.
he has
The
to.
spell specifies
He has to attack before he
It
moves,
must
and it
use
has
its
to be.
action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee
Make
against a
attack.
creature other
It
than
has to
itself
make
that
a
I
melee.
choose.
And it
Yeah.
can't use a range, anything. It has to make a melee attack on someone she chooses
Right.
before it can move.
Because
It
if she
has
does,
to be
and if
melee.
she doesn't choose a target, or if nobody's in range, then he gets to choose, and
Yeah.
that defeats the point of the plan.
Yeah, like I said, that spell is normally suited when you have enemies in ranks and they're next to each other in a contained area
Especially if you
fighting.
have a strong one that you think you can hit it with.
Yeah, and
Like,
then he just fucking starts
yeah.
smashing
Well,
at some
you know,
guys.
like
Yeah.
an ogre or something.
Yeah.
Well, and if you guys take a little damage, I'm really sorry, but hey,
No, it's
Judas,
better this way
Jesus,
anyway,
play
because
Judas.
we don't want-
Kill your friends.
Yeah. All right. So,
That's
what would you like to do with this since he is, or what would you like his focus of attack to be?
Well,
Or
now
we
that
can
you now
choose
that
none
you're
with it.
Jesus, you shall play Judas and kill your friends at first opportunity. Turn on them.
Okay.
So
So basically,
it's on
it's-
his next
if
action.
he's close to an ally, attack the ally. If not, attack me.
It would be
I guess.
whoever he would want to attack, I suppose.
Oh, okay. So then,
He's crazy. He's
Yeah.
Madden, so
All right. Well, he will just probably be just randomly attacking. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Garage?
I would if I can use suggestion on a bonus action.
By what level?
you can use
oh
it
wait,
at
yeah,
will.
yeah.
At
Oh
will.
yeah, it's at will. Okay, yeah, so
It's
you
a
can. You
racial
can.
trait.
So yes, you can.
Yeah, bonus action.
So
That's
then,
right.
what? Hold on. What is the exact thing on suggestion? It's a wisdom
Okay,
saving
wait,
throw.
wait,
I know
wait.
that.
Wait. This is great. Can I suggest something to you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so suggestion says that you can have a person do anything except for hurt themselves or another person.
Yeah.
I want to say, right? Let's
Okay.
make sure.
Yeah, you can.
Course of
They just
activity.
can't hurt themselves. And
Okay,
they
you
cannot-
suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two, and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you.
Oh, and
Do
understand.
you know common?
I do when I'm in human form, but as
She's a
as an
snake, so
actual
can't
snack, I
understand.
cannot speak.
I see. You've been going. Yeah, you've
I have been
snake
going
force
around
still.
as a snack.
Hey,
this
you
whole
don't
time.
have an action, full action to change back yet. So.
I have
yeah.
been using my actions.
Yeah, you haven't changed back. So then you can't really.
I
do
cannot suggest because he cannot understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll just be like, oh, he'll probably.
Just so you know, my idea here is, so the course of action should sound reasonable. Since he's currently mad, it would sound reasonable to move to the other guy and hit him.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I was going to suggest too. That I was
Right.
like, hey, I'm like, you really, really want to go buy your friends. It's probably a really good idea.
Yeah.
You could strip naked.
I was going to have one or the other. I was going to make him like dance around while he got attacked, or I was going to
Yeah,
suggest that he go towards
being
his
an
friends.
animal form has its
I
fun
cannot.
idea.
Yes.
Fun idea, but
So no bonus action. I will.
And your turn, I'm guessing, unless you want to move somewhere.
No, I'm good where I am.
All right. So then we are going to come to Moss and the general, which the general is going to make his attempt to break free.
You can surely try.
And he does not succeed. That's a 6 + 5. So
How is he looking?
he is looking beat up.
Okay.
If you must squeeze him, squeeze the air out of him so he knocks out.
Oh, can I do that?
Yes, you can do a non-lethal attack, and if it brings him to 0, he's just unconscious, not dying. You just have to declare, I am a non-lethal
What
attack.
about the other two? What about the two shield guys?
They're looking to beat to shit too. Everybody's looking really hurt. Some
We
of them
are
looking
doing
very,
very well.
Yeah, you guys essentially have just like stomped their campground, really.
They weren't expecting us.
Trust
It's
me,
called
there's
the
more to come.
element
though,
of
guys.
surprise.
Well, not with these guys, but there's more
It's
other
called
stuff.
the element of surprise, guys.
Well, I guess I'll hurl a firebolt across the way over at the dude that had backed away.
Okay. This guy right here. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me a roll.
Had to finish off that guy.
Yeah, just take him out.
Son of a bitch.
I always roll bad, so that whenever I do sorcerers and stuff, I always pick stuff where they have to make a save. I don't have to roll.
Right.
It's like, well, I get half damage.
I got an 11.
An 11? 11 just barely misses, man.
Yeah.
Just misses,
well, then
man.
I'm just going to use movement.
Movement.
Go, little turtle man, go! Turtle away! Where's your bird? Can I eat him?
I'm going to get like right here in the middle. Just hang out there. Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, well, the general
Is that
has
a
made his
snack in the
turn,
grass?
failed to say, and there's nothing else you like to do with your turn.
Nah, that's it.
Okay, then we come
Here's
to
a
Van
recipe.
and all of these guys. Which Van, you have the higher dexterity, so if you want to move, go ahead and do your
Alright.
stuff first. Go ahead.
How wait,
So-
everyone's like running around like, can you even see me?
Alright.
In the grass. Like, what's all this hissing
Snake
coming
in the
from?
grass.
I am. a snake in
So
the
when
grass.
used as a bonus action, my shove is a 5-foot shove,
Mhm.
or I can knock them to the ground.
Okay, alright, yeah, put them prone.
So,
Yeah.
but as an attack action, it's a 10-foot shove, or I can knock them to the ground.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is try to shove the guy with the madness crown
Mm-hmm.
as an attack
Right,
action
right.
first,
Okay.
10 feet toward the general.
Okay, 10 feet toward the general. Alright, let me go ahead and
So let's get that strength check.
let's see, that's going to be an 11 plus 3, that is 14.
Okay, so mine's 21.
Yes, you definitely get him there.
Okay, so
we
we're gonna push him 10 feet
shove him
toward the
10
general.
feet, so we'll say that's 1 square. 2, oh, it's 1, 2, 9.
That was one to me.
2 square.
Okay, and then I'm gonna run up right beside him.
Alright, wait, you want to be, okay. We want to be right this side?
Yep.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna give him a bonus action shove
Nice.
of 5 feet toward the general.
Alright, one more shoot.
Round him up.
That is going to be a
Well, now he has no choice.
6
21
plus
as well?
3, yep, 9, yep, he does not make it. So then 1 and 2. Within 5 feet of the
He has
general.
no choice but to attack him.
Okay.
There we go. And yeah. Anything
And,
else with your turn?
I thought we were saving the journal.
Well, he might not be.
I still haven't planned yet. Okay, so then that's my first attack, my bonus action. I'm
Yep.
gonna use my other attack.
Mhm.
I'm gonna run up to the guy I just pushed next to the general,
Alrighty.
and I'm gonna use my final attack action to grapple him.
Grapple him. Alright, one more strength check.
Stop him from his
And
move.
that's going to be a 4 plus 3, a 7 from him.
That's gonna.
I will
be
let this
23.
guy go.
Well, yeah, you
I will let him
You-
go.
boom, bash him with
No.
your shield, then bash him, and he kind of bouncing around, and he's just kind of what the confused going on. Then you just grab him, and you grab a tight grip right around his shoulders and everything, and just hold him tight. Embrace him. All right, now he is now currently grappled.
Okay. To finish my turn, what I'd like to do is I'm gonna look over to Grennan. I'm gonna say, "All right, Snake and Frog, kill that last guy." And he looks at the guy who's mad. "You're a funny one. Hey, General, you want to talk, or you want your boy to kill ya?" And I turn him around and hold him tight and say, "All I gotta do is
He's
let
like
him
a
go."
rabid animal.
He's like, he's just sitting there like just like insanely laughing and checking back
bleeding
and
from the
forth.
skull,
Yeah.
you know, like Jesus.
Yeah.
And
The
then
gen-
the final thing is I'm gonna look over at Moss and kind of give him a nod. And if anything goes awry, kill them both.
yeah.
No problem.
All right. Okay. Then we are going. That's going to end your turn, and then these guys. He already got shoved back there. He is grappled, so now he gets a chance to try to break
He
the
can try to
grapple
break
on
the
his
grapple. Yep.
turn, which is going to be a 9 plus 3, so that's 11.
That's 14.
Okay, yep. You still got a hold of him.
Is it? It's his turn. The
Yeah,
dude
he
who's
goes.
grappled?
Those two guys. These two guys that are left besides the general guy have the same. They go at the same term as him, but like he said, with the higher dexterity, he gets to go first, even though it's a simultaneous turn.
But he
has
does what
to
I say.
attempt
He has
to attack the
use
general.
it. Yeah, who I told him to attack. So
But he can't attack if he's grappled.
I do actually believe he can, but it's at disadvantage.
Is it just at
Pretty
disadvantage?
sure.
he can attempt to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would be at disadvantage, and if he berserks, then it would be
Yeah, they
negated,
neutralized, which he
So,
he
but
does
let's
every turn. He's
check
been doing these guys.
grapple real quick.
Yeah, just to double check and see. I thought with grapple you couldn't attack; you had to break the
No,
grapple.
I think
but
that was
could-
restrained.
maybe that's just restrained.
Grapple
Yeah.
creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if he just can't move.
Okay, so he just can't move, but he can swing his sword around.
He
All
can
right,
swing, yeah.
all right, cool. So he
Let's
will,
hope he
in
doesn't
fact,
swing quite hard enough.
he will in fact make the attack, but he is berserked, and since it's cutting out the disadvantage, well, so yeah, it's just going to be a straight attack. He's going to try to attack this. He's going to try.
Yeah, I
to do it.
told him attack your friend, kill your
And
friends.
that is a 4 plus a 5, which will not hit the generals. He swings out wildly at the general. General's
And
kind of barely missing his throat and his face as he backs his head
I knew
away.
he would be able to attack. This is part of my plan. I told the general that his ally would kill him, and now he
And this
sees him
just proves
swinging
the
at
point.
him. Exactly. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he has advantage. The grapple gives disadvantage, but Maximilian's grasp also gives him advantage, so he would still have advantage.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's right. So let's see.
Sorry.
That's
kill myself on this one.
no. That's good, man. 15 plus 5. That's a 20. He definitely hits him, and that's going to be
So
a
let's hope he's not
D12
right at that
plus.
score.
That's going to be it's a D12 plus 3.
Yeah, I did not tell him to spare them. I said
that
kill your
will
friends.
right.
Be as Judas and kill
That
your
is going to be
friends.
for 7 points of damage now to the general.
But he's not dead, right?
Oh no, he's not
Thank
dead.
It's very, very close.
He is looking bloody and beaten, but definitely not looking too chipper. He's not quite on death's door, but he is like a couple more good hits, and he looks like he'd be done for. You see him with blood. He's slashed. He tries to move his head away, but it still catches the top of his head and slitting right across the top of his eyebrow, his brow, and a deep gash in his head, bleeding over his face now, as he is still held. And then that is going to be your turn, Van. That's that guy's turn. Then we go to the other guy, who is going to get the fuck out of dodge because he is just scared, and he just dashes the fuck off. Or attempts to. And I don't know.
Where's what section of the feet did?
They're in the book. I'm trying to
Does he
think of...
get?
His bestow curse is broken, but he is. I would think after seeing his general in such a position, everything this dude would try to get the fuck away. He's not going to sit there and hang out. And I don't believe any of you guys have are close enough for a reaction or anything else like that to try grabbing if he just runs out into the woods. Huh? Oh yeah, he is still poisoned. You are correct. So he does have to take his D6. Well, first, yeah, he's got to take his D6 and then he can try to become unpoisoned.
Oh, here it is.
So let's see, D6, which he takes 2 points.
Cover, attack,
2 points. He is like barely hanging on. He's like crawling away. I would say he's so hurt that he probably couldn't use the dash and would probably only be able to get that far. He is like literally like barely hanging on. I can see someone like that running. so he just gets like another 20, like 15, 20 feet away as he kind of is limping, trying to get away to save his own life now, looking at the dire situation that him and his fellows are in. Okay. Then, yep, that's going to be their turn. Then we come to Grennan.
Hip hop and get that motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, he's within 60 feet.
I'm just gonna throw a dart at him.
Alrighty. Go ahead and give me a roll to hit. We say 18. That definitely hits if it's 18. Literally, you're going to kill him. You don't have to roll, dude. Like, unless you have unless your dice is 0 on it somewhere, you're not gonna. So yeah, like you take him out, man. How do you do this? Yeah, as he's dragging away, you throw this dart, and he just falls forward,
here we
flat
are.
on the ground, bloody there. And then, what? After Grennan, we have Mila, but we have 2 people restrained currently, and 1 attacking. So what I'm gonna think here, and logically to me, is I'm gonna go ahead and give them each 1 more saving throw to see if they can relinquish themselves. And if they make it, then we'll continue in the rotation of combat turns. So we know when it gets to... Well, actually, no, you know what? Never mind that. Scratch that. Grennan, is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn? I'll just go through until it's their turn in combat. And if they don't make it, then we'll call it done.
No, I'm good.
All right, Mila, is there anything you'd like to do? All of the people left being held or to some degree against their will restrained. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna move over for some support.
Okay. Oh, baby! All right, Caress. What would you like to do then for your turn?
He threw a dart at that dude?
Yeah, let me delete him. He's dead.
Oh, he
yeah,
dead.
He's gone. He dead. He dead.
Okay, so then I would like to take my action to, change into my full form.
Finally.
Yay!
Yeah, it's safe to come out now.
Okay, you are in your full form.
I will take my movement to stand directly in front of this. Now, is he conscious? The general dude?
Yeah, both of them are conscious. Yeah.
Okay, but he's restrained.
Yeah.
So then I will
Where he's
then
gonna stand
take
next
my
to him.
bonus
I
action
did that
to
too.
suggest him.
Okay.
I will, so
You
it's
want
what, a wisdom
suggestion?
savings throw?
It's a wisdom,
Wisdom
saving throw, and
that. Ooh, he
you
rolled
get
an 18.
you get about a sentence.
He
Somewhere
rolled
between
a
a
nine-
sentence and
He rolled
so
19.
essentially you get 2 phrases to try to suggest what he does next.
Yeah. He rolls a 19 though.
Oh, that beats your DC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So you do try to suggest him, begin to speak to him. He goes, "Shut your tongue! Shut your forked tongue!" Yeah, and then just kind of trying to still escape the grasp that he's in and everything.
Alright, well, it doesn't take an action to unsheath your weapon just to use it. So I will then unsheath my lovely venom dagger. That's all I'm gonna do.
Okay, now we come to Moss and the General's turn. The General will go first, so he's going to make one last attempt to be unrestrained. And that is a 12 plus 4. So that's 16.
I'll make it.
That makes it. He breaks free once again. And I believe, to me, he can't even, that's going to be an action.
That's
right
his
there.
action.
That's
You
his
never
action.
so good at attack
And he
roll.
looks around, and he is going to, he's not stupid. He's going to get the fuck out of there. He
Like,
wouldn't fucking hang
two
out.
attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, he does. What else choices do you have? He's not going to stand there.
Oh,
he's
man.
going to get the hell out of Dodge.
So Mila
yeah,
and
we'll go ahead and do it before I
Caress,
move him.
You both get opportunity attack.
Mila and Caress, and actually, no wait, there's a guy between you. That's right. Okay, yep. Mila and Caress, you guys get attacks of opportunity. Now you may don't just have to attack. You can do other things. So
Can
It's
you
a
still
reaction.
put non-lethal on attack?
yeah, you can.
So I can attempt to suggest him again.
I think it's just restricted. I don't know if spells are. I think isn't it restricted just to combat?
It would be some kind of attack action. So it
Yeah.
would be like you can just attempt to grab him or
Or you
something
can
like
try
that,
to
but-
grapple
Alright, well
him, you can
then-
do a sword, you can do a spell attack, but you can't do
Right.
other things.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna slice this motherfucker. I don't even care anymore, guys. We can find out what we want to know from their belongings.
Okay, well,
So
go
yeah,
ahead and roll
then
an
I'm just
attack.
gonna drag my dagger across him, I guess.
You still got the guy that's mad too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
What?
For now.
right now, this is one of those times you bet against your teammate. Oh, what did I just do?
Oh, you're alright. Yeah, you just
Nothing
pulled
came
up.
You're
unplugged.
No, you're good.
It's still connected.
Yeah, you're good.
Well,
Right now,
slicing
I'm
this
betting.
other dude would break my concentration, would it not? I can't.
You
No.
concentrate when you're
No.
casting magic.
Okay.
The melee attack doesn't
You're
have
trying to
Alright.
get a whole
concentration.
break, so you do another
Look, I don't know that I can concentrate on my sword and my magic at the same time.
Yeah, you
so,
definitely
it's a good thing I'm not, actually myself.
can.
Okay, so then I'm gonna slice this dude. So to hit, we got
Ooh,
15
I
plus.
didn't expect you to hit.
Yeah, you.
Dagger.
It's
your
plus
dexterity
1
is
to my
16,
attack.
so-
Yeah, you hit.
Yeah, you hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely hit with mods and stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's coated with poison. So,
So he did.
It's a very good chance he is.
yeah, and I coded it. I coded it last game.
What is roll damage?
What is? Hold on.
It's
hold
an
on.
item. Yeah, it's an item
Yeah.
you get. Did you not write down?
15 or 2d10 poison damage and 1d4 piercing. So
Those are the items you rolled for.
yeah, it's my dagger of venom. I'm missing a
Right here.
black. Yeah, I know, but I'm missing my other.
Yeah, your black D10.
My black D10 is not here.
Another D10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You want
essentially
another?
it's
It's the same thing. Yeah.
it's the same thing.
I
It just
don't
has a 0
care.
on
It's all.
It literally has a 0 on it. It's the only difference.
So 10 poison damage that lasts for 1 minute, and 4 piercing damage.
Oh well, how would you like to do this? Because he is fucking dead.
I shoot that dude. Like, whoop! There goes your head.
Yeah, you slid across. He just, and right as he goes, it breaks free, and he begins to turn to run away. You slice across him,
No
dropping
one
him
ever
to the
told you not
ground,
to turn your back on a Yuan-ti.
bleeding.
You should never turn your back on a snack.
And he is now dead on the ground. All right, Chris.
I'm so funny on this camera.
That's
seeing myself.
going to be his turn. Moss, was there anything you'd like to do for your turn then? After witnessing the general run away and then being struck down
Well,
by poison dagger.
I don't know if he can talk in that state.
I don't think so.
Well,
Not Crown of Madness.
Can
not
anybody
really.
speak to the dead?
Oh, talking about him. The general,
there
yeah.
are ways.
there are ways, but none of us are good enough for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Well, no,
Even-
no, that's not true. I think Speak with the Dead is like a first level spell.
What? I was
But-
just
I don't know.
doing
It just
that one.
depends on who you are, what
You have
class
to
you
be
are.
a
You can do
warlock, a necromancer,
it. Or clerics use it.
Or-
cleric,
Yeah, wizard.
wizards have it?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he doesn't have it though.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
kinda
that
figured
kind of
you would,
wizard.
but I was just saying.
Yeah,
Let's
he
see.
does.
Well, nevertheless,
Oh no, it's a third level.
Well, whoever said we couldn't do this? And it's really on my choice to dispel the madness. It doesn't take anything to do so, other than to just not
Well,
do
I-
it.
It would have to be on your turn. Though.
I have been, don't judge me for this, but, as a scholar of all the world, I like to try things and sometimes considered taboo, but, let's see if this works. And, I cast Animate Dead on the fucking
The general?
on the general and turn him into a
All
zombie.
right. What is the requirements for that?
It just happens.
It just happens.
It happens, and then he's my slave for 24 hours.
As
It's
he-
call.
I do. But what is the
Hold on.
details of it? Are they able to speak or anything, or recollect anything?
no,
Or are they
they
just a
don't.
mindless slave? I
They
think.
can't because if they can't, that it's not very useful.
Yeah.
Let's see. The spell creates an undead servant, choose a pile
Yeah.
of bones or a corpse of a medium or small humanoid.
Yeah, they can't talk, but
Yeah.
A
It's
foul
just,
mimicry of life, raising it as an undead creature.
yes. So basically, just
yeah,
mindless
yeah.
zombie servant.
it just becomes a straight up zombie for 24 hours, and then I can recast it to keep him a zombie for another 24 hours.
As you cast this magic over him and everything, he goes. You see. And he leans up, blood still dripping out of him from his open, fresh wounds. His head kind of drooped over the side because part of his neck is cut through and everything. He just stands there blankly with white, glossy eyes, just looking at you.
Oh my! It works. Well,
I don't want to eat that.
I wouldn't eat it either, even though it's rather fresh.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do?
Magic taste.
As a bonus action, I'm just going to command him to go check the entrance to the ruins.
Okay,
And
yeah.
stand by the entrance.
He does, and since I'll just say he goes at the moment.
That's-
I gotta bring him back now.
But you're going to
I
bring him back.
have to bring him back from the dead.
Okay, who is this guy now?
Is that Thor?
It's
It
Thor.
says night. It is.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stand by the entrance to the ruins.
He
so
does do this.
If anything comes out, he can attack it.
Next we have Van, and this man's turn after you, Van. What would you like to do with this man that you have grappled and that you have grasped?
See, this is just me trying to get in the head of my character now, because you're pretty mad they didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
I can move half my speed with somebody who's grappled. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna drag the guard over behind Mila,
Mhm.
and then shove him at the general.
All right. So over here, you're gonna grab him and drag him over here.
Yep, and then I'm gonna shove him at the general, since he's still commanded to attack his allies.
Yeah, he gets shoved right to the general. And I'll put you right here because you went to Mila and shoved over there.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
then I will hold my attack.
All right. Well, he is going to go ahead and do so because he's commanded to attack any of his allies close to him, and someone is right there. So he goes ahead and rolls a natural 20.
Aw.
And how much HP? What's this armor class of your?
It
You
would
resurrect
be
a zombie,
it would be
right?
a zombie, yeah.
It's
So
creatures.
Oh, yeah,
Is it like
I have
10
it.
or 12?
Yeah, no, I have it.
You have it? Yeah, I think it's like 10 or 12. Something like
His AC is 8.
8. Oh wow, it's even less than I thought.
Unless you wanna give him a
What
bonus
he hits?
If you want to give him bonus AC for
being
Armor.
a general,
Armor,
he has
but-
armor, yeah.
Yes, yeah, I'd say.
Even
Well, he
then
got
10.
natural 20. It's gonna hit.
It's
Yeah.
still with him,
I'm
but
thinking
yeah.
I'm thinking HP is what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, his HP is 22.
Okay, so that's going to be 8 times 2, which is 16, plus 3, which is 19
Oh,
points of
He has
damage.
one.
Out of,
Yeah.
he had
one health
22.
I had 22.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
19
3
and 3
points.
helps.
Yeah, as you go, he goes and and just a bunch of just flesh flies off of him, and like part of his arm comes off and everything, and the zombie just sits there like just ripped apart.
With that, I think I'll use my attack, and I'm gonna attempt to knock out the berserker.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a roll
my
for it.
God. Oof, that sucks. That's 11 to hit.
That does not hit.
Good thing I get 2 attacks. Let's see. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely
Okay.
hit.
And let's see if we can knock him out.
Let's take a shield to the back of the dome.
12 damage.
That is enough to knock him out.
Alright, so, yeah, that's what it's gonna be. A shield to the back of the head. I'm just gonna say, oh, you didn't do what I wanted.
Bang! You go, king! You go, it just like falls to the ground. The zombie's just bleeding on his unconscious body, just standing over him. He's like, just dripping blood on this unconscious guy, and that actually is going to take us out of combat now.
And-
Oh, fine, then send the fucking
and-
troll into the damn
And
room.
the loss of consciousness would then dissipate my spell. His
Yeah.
crown would disappear.
Well,
And
that was the point.
I mean, you could have just waited.
We shouldn't have killed the general. He's the guy with all the info. We could have found all the rest of their army. Ambushed them like we did here.
He should have known better than to turn his back on a snake.
And you should have known better than to kill the one guy with the information we need.
I don't need humans for anything, including information. I'm sure we can find what we need if we look hard enough.
Well, then get to
So then
looking.
I will, yeah, at this point I would have already started stalking off into the camp,
Oh,
finding the general's tent.
Yeah, now we need to do theater of the mind all right now. But I think for right now, we'll go ahead and take a short break so we can all have a cigarette and stuff after the combat. Nice combat and stuff, guys. There's
Well, it's
plenty
okay.
more stuff to look into and do and
It is
everything.
now almost 7 o'clock.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
I haven't made dinner. I haven't gotten any of my laundry finished. I have to go to work at 4
Damn, I
o'clock
have
in
all
the
sorts
morning.
of
We have
stuff
to
in this
stop.
room and
I'm
everything,
sorry.
too.
Well,
I got
no,
maps and
it'll
all
have
kinds
to
of
wait.
shit.
I'm sorry.
It's a good pickup point.
Yeah, no, hey, I guess, we can call it now if everybody's satisfied with that, for the day and everything, if it's getting a little late. We can try to start earlier next Sunday is what we do, since I'm not too worried about the whole streaming thing, and I'm not worried about the setup anymore.
Yeah.
So next Sunday, maybe we'll try to start at noon instead.
Sundays
1.
right now are going to be a little bit of a toss-up for me whether or not I can make it.
Okay.
But I should be able to.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, just let me know if you're going to be able to make it or not, and if not, then we'll figure out if, hey, you're going to go do your own thing for a minute, or what we're going to do.
Yeah, my schedule change goes in February 9th.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay, so that's not too far.
So, yeah, if I get it, then I'll have Sundays off. No problem. I'm always going to be here.
No, it's cool, man. It's good to have you playing, and it's nice to have somebody that has a little more
It's
experience and a little more of the rules memorized too. Because I forget little tidbits and things, I mean, everybody does. What are you gonna do, man?
There's a lot of information.
And again, if I do anything that annoys you, let me know.
Oh no, yeah, no, of course. That's always table policy. And usually at this point in the game, I ask everybody like, hey, any thoughts, any concerns, what you like, what didn't you like? Is there anything any kind of input from anybody? I mean, does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to let me know, or things that they really enjoyed about the session, or things they're looking forward to doing?
All right,
or...
fun.
Yeah.
I'm.
Cool, man.
Are we gonna take off from here?
Yeah.
next time?
Yeah,
We're-
yeah,
okay,
most
so
likely.
not-
Yeah, we're gonna take off right from where
We're
you're
not
at,
gonna do a
right
rest.
with him knocked down on the ground. You all standing there, and her kind of going.
We
to
might
go look.
choose to rest once we,
Yeah, it's up to you.
restart.
It
but
actually, right
I
now,
have to stop resting.
Looking at the combat and everything, it is definitely dark right now, and would be the normal time for people to sleep at night and everything. So that wouldn't be unsuitable. I would say that at the beginning next session we could decide if that's what you guys did and everything else. Because that if you go like, oh, we're taking this rest or whatever, it wouldn't be too long. But I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys might decide against that since you were at a ruin and just took out a forward. A base of these people, you might want to look into what you're going to look into and get out.
I'll use my special leer, and I will bump up that bardic inspiration.
I'll pump up the jams.
So let's not worry about that. I gotta stand up. I can't.
That's fine. I was
gonna
gonna go smoke a cigarette too. Anyways,
I
so
can't feel my
Bitch
legs in my
and
ass.
Shy, everything good? No questions or anything from you guys?
Good session.
All right, awesome, man. Yeah, we're getting, like I said, we'll try to start like 12 or 1 next Sunday, so we have more time. I do have all the stuff for this ruin and everything good to go, so you guys can explore the camps and all that good jive, and it's all good to go, man.
I had so much fun. You guys take it easy.
Yeah, this was a pretty combat heavy session.
Little note though, Grannon, you have an extra attack that you haven't been using.
I used it a couple times.
Yeah, I think I noticed you attack twice, maybe once, but you can attack twice per turn. And with unarmed combat, you can attack with your offhand too.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
He was just holding it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure because I only saw you attack like a few times. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. No, he's just kind of like
doing more damage.
Yeah, he's played a monk a few times.
Okay.
I'm more of like a harasser / disable.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. Well,
Lots of fun, man.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you enjoy it, man. It's gonna go good, man. So, man, we'll try to get you back here on Sundays and keep playing.
I would have never thought of using a poisonous frog as a monk.
Yeah.
Because then all you got to do is touch and you get that
His
poison.
unarmed hits cause extra damage.
Yeah, it's pretty rad, man. Like I said, that's why that's one of the good. I like one reason, like I mentioned, the table. A lot of times he picks off
very
stuff
creative.
and he'll look through and check and find all kinds of weird and crazy things to be classes and races and stuff. And
Mitchell's always very creative with his stories as well.
Yeah. But
That's why even though they moved away, I wouldn't let him stop playing with us because I like playing with the shouse.
Yeah, for sure. All right, shouses. You guys take care of the baby and stuff. We love you. We'll see you next Sunday, or if you guys get bored or whatever, just write us.
Yeah, you can always
chat with us
chat
whenever.
us in anytime you want. Oh God, I was like, what the fuck is Josh?
All right, guys. We'll check you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh God.
Session.
And there's my